Yolanda Knight claims her mom borrowed her clothes for a business trip and says what she did with them was anything but professional. Tony Knight says she was going to get the items cleaned, but her daughter refused.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
Please be seated.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Sean. Good day, everyone. This is the case of Knight versus Knight. Plaintiff, you are suing your mother for $493 for ruining your work clothes. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And defendant mom, you say that the plaintiff refused the clothes and you did try to clean them.
Yes, you're right.
All right, tell me what happened.
So my mother went down to Miami on a work trip and she took my clothes. I let her borrow them. That's true.
Okay, so she didn't take without asking.
Right.
You let her borrow them. Okay.
Yeah, she took my clothes down there and was wearing them. And then, you know, it's Miami. She went out afterwards and she comes back and she has the clothes, pulling them out of her suitcase, putting them away. And I saw that they were dirty and I said, why are my clothes dirty? And I looked at my clothes and they were spoiled, or they were spoiled.
The clothes were spoiled? I thought
Yeah.
you had them dry cleaned.
Your Honor, can I intervene?
Jump in, Ms. Knight.
Hi. So I wanted to go to Miami. I had to go for a business. I work at radio sales. And I took my daughter's clothes because I normally work from home, but I knew I was going to do a couple of meetings, meet a lot of people down there. So I put her clothes in my bag. So on coming back, I was taking them out. She was being nosy, trying to see what was in my bag, and she seen her clothes was there. She didn't give me a chance to dry clean them yet, but then I was going to take them to the dry cleaners.
Okay, so you brought the clothes back. Were they dirty? You had worn them, so.
Yeah, I was just unpacking, and she just happened to see them.
What did you take? Paint a picture for me. I want to know, what did you not have in your closet that your daughter did?
This business trip required me to have like business casual clothes, so I just needed like a nice little blazer and a turtleneck and some slacks just to wear down to Miami.
And you didn't have that?
I did not. I typically work from home, so I'm always behind the scenes, never in front of the scenes. But when I am out, this is how I usually tend to dress. I feel like I look very fashionable, and I like to.
See how she wore that to court, Your Honor.
It's a court
I
dress.
didn't realize the skirt was abbreviated. Okay. All right. So you needed to borrow something professional.
Right.
And you did.
I did. And I went out networking a little bit, and I went to a couple of different clubs. Nothing too out of the ordinary. You know, what happens in Miami stays in Miami. But yes, I did meet a couple of people and hung out.
Oh, all right. So you mixed a little pleasure with your business.
Of course, we're in Miami. We have
exactly.
And it ended up on her clothes. My clothes.
Oh, wait, what ended up on your clothes?
Bodily fluids.
Bodily fluids?
Because it wasn't spilled drinks.
Your Honor, I don't understand why my daughter has such a problem about how I dress.
No, don't skip over the bodily fluids part, Ms. Knight. Now, we don't want to know all your business, but for the purposes of court, we do need to understand, and you ain't denying it. So.
No, you know, I'm grown. I raised my daughter. I had her at a young age, and my business is my business. But my intentions were to clean the clothes before I gave them to her.
And so, Ms. Knight, you were upset with your mother.
Correct.
You could tell that she had been out networking. Right? Mm-hmm. And there was stuff on your clothes that you knew it wasn't what would happen during an average wear, someone borrowing your clothes.
Correct, Your Honor.
And so that upset you, but she offered to clean them. So what is it about this that got you so upset? And why are you suing for the value of the clothing, the damages?
Your Honor, it does bother me that she soiled my clothes. It does bother me. I do want the $493.
Because your point is, now that I saw what was on there, even now that it's cleaned, I don't want it back.
Correct, Your Honor.
Coming up.
You came to KU homecoming, and that should have been my night. I should have been at a party with my friends. And what did you do? You showed up. That's embarrassing.
To the homecoming?
To the homecoming party. What 19-year-old college student wants their mother at a party?
And later.
Miss Klein worked for you. She's also saying she had a personal relationship with you, I presume a sexual relationship with you.
We were hooking up, Your Honor.
Okay. So she was your assistant and you were having sex with her.
We're back with a dispute between Yolanda Knight and her mother, Tony Knight, over soiled business clothes.
So I think the issue becomes to Mom, do you understand, Mom, why your daughter feels so disappointed and kind of disgusted that you didn't just respect her clothing, right? Because she's working and trying to establish a career for herself. Do you understand why your daughter's upset?
Yes, Your Honor, I understand why my daughter's upset, but I feel like she's more so embarrassed of me about how I wear my clothes and the things that I do. And I have worked really hard to take care of her, and I put her through everything to make her the perfect daughter. She's the perfect daughter. She's very smart. She's successful in her career. She's in law school. I feel like I've done my job as a mother.
Young lawyer. I love it.
Yeah, I've done
Coming
my job
up
as a
next.
mother.
I like it.
And I feel like as my reward to myself, I'm still in my 30s. I could still be 30 and flirty, and she doesn't understand that this is not too drastic. And I want her to be proud of me like I am proud of her.
All right. So this is definitely an ongoing, lingering issue between mom and daughter,
Yeah.
right? You were a young mother, obviously.
Right.
You are in a place now where you want to enjoy the type of experience that many of us already had in our 20s, but you were a mother then.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
And so you're getting now to feel a sense of freedom now that she's grown up, and you want to go to Miami and turn up. You want to wear a little short dress and your little booties and all of these things. And your daughter feels embarrassed that her mother looks and dresses younger than you do.
Correct. Your
Can you be honest about that, Ms. Knight?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your mother seemed to be honest with you. Can you be honest?
Yes, yes.
And talk to your mother. Tell her how you feel.
It is very embarrassing to have you out in the streets wearing what you're wearing because my friends see it and my friends say something to me and it bothers me. You came to KU homecoming and that should have been my night. I should have been at a party with my friends, and what did you do? You showed up. That's embarrassing.
To the homecoming?
To the homecoming party. What 19-year-old college student wants their mother at a party? She walks in, sits down, grabs a drink like she's one of us.
Well, wait a minute. Now, it's okay to go to homecoming if, I guess if you're going with, to the homecoming of your alma mater and you go with your friends, why did you go to your daughter's party?
Your Honor, I'm in radio sales, so I do a lot of behind the scenes, searching for new talent, and where else to go but to a homecoming where my daughter is going to be at, and try to scout her friends and see
So
if I
you
can
were
put them
once again on location, and networking.
Always.
Oh,
But
And then-
networking at night with 19-year-olds?
But you gotta understand the industry that I work in is cutthroat, and I do need to look like I'm not about to be in retirement. I need to look like a little bit more young and fresh for people to gravitate towards me. So it's not intentionally towards her. It's like, hey, this is me. I'm not old. I'm not 50. Not 50 is not old, but I'm not old.
and I can understand your mother's perspective here, okay? And she makes some good points, and so do you. But I'm going to say to you that if you're proud of your body and you want to express yourself in this way, is that more important than honoring your daughter in certain moments, especially around her friends, where she feels uncomfortable and embarrassed? It cannot feel good to have your child embarrassed by you. I could only imagine if CJ looked at me and was embarrassed, right? It bothers me when he doesn't want me to walk him into the school anymore because, they get to a certain age, they don't want their mother all up walking them to the door. I don't want him to be, I feel badly because I want to be there, but I understand he doesn't want to be the kids whose mom's up there with the lunch pail, honey this, honey that. Our children need that separation. Can you respect that?
I can.
And what can you do to achieve that? Because this really isn't about the clothes. It really isn't. But we're here now. So can you do that?
I can. I just want my daughter to know that I care for her, I love, honor, and respect her, and I want her to feel the same way about me. And if it has to come down to dressing appropriately around your grown friends, I will.
See how easy that was? Ms. Knight, you did some pretty nasty stuff in the clothes. I don't blame your daughter for not wanting those particular clothes back.
All right.
And can I just say, before my ruling, I want to give you the opportunity as a mother to say, can you just buy her another blazer, another shirt, and another pair of pants?
Yes, I can. I'll make sure it's very top tier of your liking.
I love it. And I want to make sure that it's $493 or more, because the judgment is for the plaintiff for $493. Court is adjourned.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $493.
I hope it gets better. That's all I'll say. I hope our relationship can mend.
I did too.
All right, if you gather your things and follow me out, please.
Coming up,
I would text her and say, hey, where are you? You know, what's going on? And she'd be like, oh, I'm on my way. And it would be like, you know, an hour or two would go by and then she would show up.
So I want to know this. Did you think having sex with your boss gave you some privileges?
Definitely not.
Sarah Klein claims her boss fired her when she told him she was pregnant. Connor Brown says Ms. Klein was let go because she was chronically late and bad at her job.
Good day, everyone. Good day. This is the case of Klein versus Brown. Ms. Klein, you are suing Mr. Brown for $10,000 for wrongful termination. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Explain to the court what happened.
So, Mr. Brown here wrongfully fired me, and Judge, I honestly think he claims me of having done a bad job. But honestly, Judge, I think it's because he couldn't stand having me around while I was pregnant, and that he fired me because of my pregnancy.
You worked in what capacity with him?
So, I was Mr. Brown's assistant for 5 years until he fired me. Honestly, Judge, our relationship kind of got a little more personal and intimate.
Oh, okay. Mr. Brown, Ms. Klein worked for you. She's also saying she had a personal relationship with you, I presume a sexual relationship with you.
We were hooking up, Your Honor.
Okay. So she was your assistant and you were having sex with her.
Yeah, I admit it was absolutely wrong. I shouldn't have done anything. But once we got into the intimate relationship, it started to feel like she started taking advantage of me.
Oh!
And she started showing up late to work. I would text her and say, hey, where are you? You know, what's going on? And she'd be like, oh, I'm on my way. And it would be like, you know, an hour or two would go by and then she would show up.
So I want to know this. Did you think having sex with your boss gave you some privileges?
Definitely not. I honestly think he was just jealous about me moving on with another man
Coming up,
at 8 months in, so I could prepare for my baby's arrival.
And so all this time you didn't see any changes in her body. You couldn't tell there was anything different. You just didn't know.
No, I mean, at the time she was kind of a big girl. I just thought.
we're back with the case of Sarah Klein, who brought Connor Brown to court after he fired her while she was pregnant.
I do see letters about her being tardy, letters about a missed deadline, letters about disclosing confidential information. So you're sending her these letters. You're not doing your job well. You're not doing your job well. Is this after you had the sexual relationship?
Yes.
All right, so after the sexual relationship, then you're sending all these letters. You're not doing this right. You're not doing that right. You're not doing this right. But while you were having sex, you were coming to work on time and you were doing what you were supposed to do?
I was remaining professional throughout my whole time while I was working there. Those are the only excuses, Judge, and I don't think it's enough to fire me.
How did you find out she was pregnant?
She told me. We're sitting in the office, and I was telling her about the things that weren't working out and that I was going to fire her. I was thinking about firing her. That's when she told me, oh, by the way, I'm pregnant.
I was also telling him about that I wanted to take my maternity leave at 8 months in so I could prepare for my baby's arrival.
And so all this time, you didn't see any changes in her body. You couldn't tell there was anything different. You just didn't know.
No, I mean, at the time, she was kind of a big girl. I just thought she was just eating.
Excuse me.
I don't know. I didn't
was-
see anything. I didn't
Judge.
know that there was any changes.
You just thought,
Just her performance was the change.
all right. You tell him you're pregnant. Now the question becomes, why do you feel you were wrongfully terminated? Because just as he should not fire you because he had sex with you and now the relationship was over, he also should not keep you as an employee if you're unable to do the job. So I need you to testify to that so I can rule on this case, because I've heard a lot of mess right now. Now make it make sense.
I was totally able to do my job. I did my job for 5 years. It's been 5 years, and people do make mistakes sometimes, but my mistakes they were like only those 3.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns.
Brown, I really want you to understand that you're not off the hook here, because this is your company.
I admit it.
Right?
I admit it. I was wrong.
Dead wrong. And the truth is, once this relationship was over, I can't say that if you were still sleeping with her, if she had made those errors, that you would have fired her. So the fact that she was no longer sleeping with you and she made errors, she's been at your company for 5 years. She had a bad patch, she made some errors. For that reason, I can't say that you should have fired her because of those errors after you all had a sexual relationship, because that changes the dynamic, period. And you've got to bear some responsibility for that. So it is the judgment of this court that the plaintiff was wrongfully terminated. Judgment for the plaintiff for $10,000. Court is adjourned.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $10,000.
I didn't fire you because you were pregnant. This is ridiculous. I don't
You
know why
were
you would do that.
jealous.
I wasn't jealous.
Yes, you were.
I'm done.
You fired me because you couldn't handle having me around.
No, that wasn't it. I fired you because you were horrible at your job.
Please
Not.
follow me out.
Michael Miller claims he was maliciously injured during a high-stakes game of musical chairs. Steven Diaz says his former co-worker was in good spirits after their combined fall, so he needs to let it go.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello, thank you, Sean. Good day, everyone. Good day. This is the case of Miller versus Diaz. Mr. Miller, you are suing Mr. Diaz for $632.50 for personal injury you say he caused. Is this correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Diaz, you say that he played at his own risk.
Oh, for certain.
All right,
For
so I
certain.
want to start with you, Mr. Miller. How did this incident occur?
Thank you, Your Honor. I know Mr. Diaz from work. We used to work at the same retail company, and we worked different shifts, but we had the same circle of friends.
All right.
And so we went to the same party, and at these parties, we have a game that we all throw money into. This game in particular was musical chairs. And we each deposit $50 to get into the game, and there were 10 of us, and so the amount that you get if you win the game is $500. Now, the last time that I played the game,
$500 for musical chairs?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Count me in.
Count you in. I've never done that. Sean said he gonna play. All right.
And so the last time that we played, I didn't do so well, so I was so motivated and excited to win this time and to put my best foot forward here. And as we were nearing the end of the game, Mr. Diaz and I were neck and neck, and as I was about to sit down on that chair, which was right behind me, Mr. Diaz ripped the chair right out from under
False.
me, right out from under
False.
me, and he was too tipsy to stay straight up, and so he ended up tripping both of us, and he landed on my ankle, at which point the next day I had to go to the hospital. Sorry, I did tell him later that day, in the evening after the party, that he had injured me, at which point he just laughed it off.
Hold
And
on.
so-
Let me make sure I remember what musical chairs is. The
Yes.
music plays, you go around, the music stops, and there's only enough chairs for everyone except one person.
Correct.
And the person that doesn't get a seat is out.
Correct.
And then once you stand back up, they remove one chair and close the circle in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why is it that you say Mr. Diaz snatched a chair out from under you? That's not the game.
That's my point exactly. Mr. Diaz right here, he...
Did you do that, Mr. Diaz?
No, it's a false narrative that's being
So
pushed.
how did it go in your estimation?
Well, I mean, it was neck and neck. We were down to the last chair. However, we both put our hands on the chair. We both put our hands on the chair.
So you're at that last two-step one,
Yeah.
and you go like this to get on the chair.
Yes.
And then what happens?
Well, we both fell to the ground equally in good spirits. That's why this is coming
He
out
had
of the
pulled
blue.
the chair right out from under me, Your
Nah,
Honor.
false.
He
Totally
had pulled
false.
the chair, and that
Totally
caused us
false.
both to trip. He obviously could not have handled his alcohol very well that day because
Totally
he was drinking quite a bit as well.
So if he fell, how did he fall on your ankle?
So he had pulled the chair, and then while pulling the chair back, he had fallen backwards towards myself, at which point he landed on my ankle. Well, he landed on me, tripped both of us over.
Step out in
and
the
on my-
aisle right there and show me.
How it happened?
Yes.
So let's say that he's right there, and I'm right. Let's say he is me, and I am him. When he pulled the chair out, he pulled the chair, and then because he was so intoxicated, he put himself off balance, and then landed on me, pushing me over, and landing on my ankle. And when he hit the ground.
Who pulls a chair like that?
That's what I'm saying.
No, we both
It
grabbed
was
the chair at the
absurd.
same time. We both grabbed the chair at the same time and fell at the same time.
All right, so you fall. Let me just think about this. You say he falls. Do you agree, Mr. Diaz, that you fell?
We both fell.
I
at
mean,
the
because
exact
to
same
be
time.
honest with you, I have seen people fall down fighting over the last chair. That's not abnormal, but it's usually because they're both trying to get their butts in the seat.
Coming up,
So you believe it was intentional and not negligent, or you believe it was negligent and not intentional?
I believe it was both, Your Honor.
Lord have mercy.
and later,
But it was the last one, and they sell out fast, so I just decided that I would use my emergency credit card and buy it, and we
Because
could
this was an
discuss-
emergency to get this Halloween
Yes.
decorative piece.
we're back with the case of Michael Miller, who brought Stephen Diaz to court over a party game injury.
Tell me, Mr. Diaz, do you remember falling on Mr. Miller's leg or his ankle?
No, we fell at the exact same time.
Well, that doesn't change the fact you could have fallen on him.
Well, there was a collision, but it wasn't anything that
Did you
stuck out
land
in my
on
mind.
him?
Yes. I mean, we both fell at the same time.
All right, and so you were hurt instantly?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you get up and walk away?
I
Or
had
you-
to
He
hobble
did.
away so
No,
I could get
no,
some ice.
that's false. That's false.
So, Mr. Diaz, you're saying that he wasn't hurt?
Well, we were both in good spirits on the ground. Like, everything was fun, and to the point where, the mood was
Oh,
fine.
you laughed.
We
Everybody
both
laughed.
We both laughed.
It
I
was
wasn't.
funny.
Your Honor.
I wasn't laughing. I was.
Were
in
you
pain.
drinking?
I did
was
have
definitely
some.
drinking.
So you were drinking as well?
Yes.
How many drinks did you have?
I had only a couple of beers.
How many drinks did you have, Mr. Diaz?
A couple of beers.
Oh,
same
they
thing.
lying. Okay.
No, he had his drink full.
They
He
both
had his
lying.
cup
Go
full
ahead.
the entire night.
He was
Next
trying to get me drunk.
question. Next question. So you got up and realized, oh, my ankle's hurt. I hop off.
Well, the moment that he landed on me, I felt the searing pain, and so I did feel injured instantly. And
Okay.
I tried letting him know, but he was
Did
just laughing
Mr. Diaz
too hard.
help you up?
No, he
How'd
was
you
just
get up?
laughing.
We both got up.
I got up on my own using just my other leg because my other one, I didn't know how bad the damage was. I did find out later that I could walk on it just with a lot of pain. And so I did go.
So
and I
you
got
went and
some-
got checked out.
The next day, yes, at Lincoln Hospital of Hope. I have the
I'd like to
receipt
see
right
whatever
here.
evidence you have of that.
Thank you, bailiff. And so I did end up incurring the total debt of $632.50 at that urgent care. And so what I'm requesting today is that Mr. Diaz pay the amount that I paid at the hospital.
Because you believe he injured you.
Correct.
You believe it was intentional, or do you believe he was being negligent?
I believe he was being negligent.
And then what duty of care did he owe you? What duty of care do you owe to someone in a musical chairs game?
I believe
That's
that
what I'm trying to figure
it's not the game itself, it's the fact that I was injured due to his actions. And so because
Okay.
of that,
But if he pulled the chair intentionally, then that would be intentional.
yes.
So you believe it was intentional and not negligent, or you believe it was negligent and not intentional?
I believe it was both, Your Honor.
Lord have mercy. Ooh, it's lunchtime.
I believe that he intentionally pulled the chair, and he was negligent
False.
enough not to
False.
try and keep himself up straight.
False.
He didn't
False.
even pay me any mind. When I told him later,
False.
in the wee hours of the night, Your Honor,
Objection.
after the party was at an end, I had told him, I said, hey, I got really badly hurt earlier when you landed on my ankle. And what he did, he just laughed and grabbed another drink.
In a very joking way, you said that. I thought it was all a joke.
I wouldn't joke
thought it was
about
all
that.
a
Why
joke.
would I
How
joke
do you
about it?
remember it, Mr. Diaz?
I mean, it happened. I
No, how do you
remembered it.
remember him saying, hey, I'm hurt? Like, did you say, listen, I'm thinking about you fall, you've been co-workers for years, you know each other. Okay, you don't help him up, which I think is odd. But if you didn't really know he was really that hurt until he stood up on it, okay, both of your little drunk selves was just trying to get up.
That's exactly what
And
it
if
was.
everybody was laughing, which I'm sure they were, there may not have been a moment where you really thought, is he really hurt? But at the point that you realized he was, what did you say? What did you offer?
Well, he never, that night, it was never apparent to me that he was seriously injured. I thought he was, kind of just, we were both, a little tipsy.
I was
we
sitting
fell
off to the
over.
side.
We equally got up in good spirits, laughing. And later on, he came like on to, no, you really hurt my ankle. I thought he was joking. That's why, if I really knew he was hurt, I wouldn't say, stop being a baby, stop doing that. This was all fun and games.
Well, you were playing a game, so that's my point.
Exactly.
How long did you stay at the party, Mr. Miller, after you realized your foot hurt?
I mean,
The whole night.
I did stay for the rest of the evening.
Whole night.
Oh, so
whole
this
night.
sharp, excruciating pain that you said you had
Yes.
when you stood up wasn't enough for you to take yourself home.
Well, no, Your Honor. I did stay, and I wanted to make sure I was iced up, and so I stayed, and I kept icing it on the couch that was available
And
at
it
the
wasn't
party.
enough for you to go to the hospital that night.
I didn't know the severity of the damage.
All right, I've heard enough. What's that phrase? Play silly games, win silly prizes.
That's it.
I mean, it's just, that is life, right? I want to understand how this court is supposed to believe that Mr. Diaz was malicious and somehow just pulled this chair out. I do not think it was intentional. I don't even think it was negligent. If you cannot take the heat, stay out the what?
Kitchen.
Kitchen. Thank you, babe.
Thank you, Sean. Don't play these games because you can get hurt. So it's the judgment of this court that you, Mr. Diaz, are not responsible for the injuries. Judgment for the defendant. Court is adjourned.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
So, what do you think about the verdict?
You tried, and you failed.
Coming up,
She kissed me, and I immediately pushed her off of me, and I said, I'm in a relationship, I'm not about that, I don't want to do that with you. And that's why I told her as soon as I came home. I didn't know that she would call me a liar and a cheater.
Louise Krantz claims her ex-girlfriend owes her for the cost of a Halloween skeleton they bought before they broke up. Dee Siegel says Ms. Krantz is a cheater, so she doesn't deserve the skeleton decoration.
Ms. Krantz, you are suing Ms. Siegel for $340, the cost of a decorative piece.
Yes.
And Ms. Siegel, you say you've already paid her.
Yes.
Okay, I want to hear from the plaintiff. Ms. Krantz, tell me about this decorative piece.
So the decorative piece is a 12-foot tall Halloween skeleton. We're both very fond of Halloween, and we bonded over it while we were together, and we decided that since the skeleton was going viral, we wanted to get it. So I went ahead and purchased it for us, and she did pay me back. But I feel, after we have broken up, I feel like I would like the skeleton or compensation for the skeleton.
When you paid for it, did you both pay half together?
No, I put it all on my emergency credit card because she wasn't with me and it was the last one. And I know we were supposed to discuss it before we purchased it, but it was the last one and they sell out fast. So I just decided that I would use my emergency credit card and buy it. And
because this was an emergency to get this Halloween decorative piece.
No, seriously, I felt like it was an emergency and I wanted it, so I went ahead and got it.
Jump in, Miss Siegel.
Well, we agreed that when we saw the skeleton, we would pay for it half and half. And I have text messages to prove that we had this agreement.
I'd like to see those. Thank you.
Thank you.
So you guys have text messages that say, I saw a skeleton today and I saw it in person. You know we have to get one. Oh my God, jealous. They're so hard to find. But if we can find one, let's get it, no matter what. If we see one and we aren't together, we agree to snag it. Obviously, if you find one, I'll send you half, or vice versa. Our skeleton son.
Coming up.
You were roommates, or what was going on between you two? Were you dating or were you roommates?
Yes, we were dating.
Okay, and you lived together?
Yes.
We're back with a dispute between Louise Kranz and her ex-girlfriend Dee Siegel over a giant Halloween decoration.
So what is the problem?
Well, the problem is that she didn't consult me beforehand before she paid it, and we had an agreement that we would pay half and half. And so to cover my half of the payment, I decided to pay the half of the skeleton payment I was originally supposed to pay, since she was short on bills that month and couldn't pay her rent, her half of the rent.
So you covered her half of the rent instead of giving the half of the skeleton?
Yes.
So how much was the rent?
It's $1,200 a month. We pay $600 each.
Oh, so you covered a $600 debt that she would have, right?
Yes.
You were roommates, or what was going on between you two? Were you dating or were you roommates?
Yes, we were dating.
Okay, and you lived together?
Yes.
So what's the problem?
Well, there's that, and there's also an incident that happened, and we're more or less fighting for who gets to have the skeleton.
Okay, so let's get to that. Why'd you break up?
Well, over the summer, she visited family back home, and she went out with a bunch of friends, and her ex-girlfriend was there, and they kissed, and she came home and she told me, and of course I was shaken and heartbroken, and I told her that it wasn't going to work out.
Your Honor, she says they kissed like I was trying to kiss my ex-girlfriend when I really was not. She kissed me and I immediately pushed her off of me and I said, I'm in a relationship, I'm not about that, I don't want to do that with you. And that's why I told her as soon as I came home. I didn't know that she would call me a liar and a cheater.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns.
What about the skeleton son? I can see there's some similarities between real custody disagreements and fights and skeleton son one, because it's always about the two people going back and forth and not about the child. I want to know about the skeleton son. Does anybody have a picture of the skeleton son?
I have a photo, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
More
you.
like our dad, he's big.
Okay.
There he is. Or is it a she? It's a son. It's a he.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right? So this is the skeleton son. Now you're fighting over it because you broke up. You didn't take it with you when you left, so obviously you didn't really want it. You didn't come in here and sue for the return of it. You sued for the money for it. It is for that reason I'm going to give the judgment for the plaintiff for $170, which is the half the value of what was paid for the skeleton son. Judgment for the plaintiff for $170. Court is adjourned.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $170.
If you would have just talked to me, this wouldn't even be a problem.
I wanted to give you a chance to talk.
You didn't even give me a chance. You literally kicked me to the curb with no warning.
I gave you 30 days.
I don't want to hear it.
Bobby Brenner claims his reputation was trashed after a tennis player had him kicked out of a charity event. Katie Berkeley says Mr. Brenner was the one who was trashed, and that's what got him in trouble.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Please be seated. Good day, everyone. Good day. This is the case of Brenner versus Berkeley. Mr. Brenner, you are suing Ms. Berkeley for $2,426 for defamation of character. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. Please tell the court what happened.
Well, I would like to start out by saying I've been a huge fan of tennis and a part of that community for a very long time. I've gone all over the world checking out different tournaments and played a bit myself. With that kind of, being really what I care about the most. And how this all came to be is we ended up at a charity event about 7 months ago that was going to be played at my club, the Desert Tennis Club, and that was where this altercation initially happened. I have been following Miss Berkeley's playing career, and also as well as Brianna. I've been, very interested in seeing how they both play. They're both great talents. So they started playing each other. They were the two opponents there, and it was, it's a charity game, so it wasn't anything serious. It wasn't a big deal. Katie was able to get a couple of aces, which I thought looked a little out. So I yelled out, "Kiss my ace," after that happened, and it got some laughs and everything like that. So I didn't think it was a big deal. But then she comes up, Katie does, and yells to us, "Shut up." And so we're like, okay, it's not a big deal. This is just a game. We're just trying to have fun. Brianna ends up winning the first set there, and we're kind of getting a little into it. It's basically shouting.
Who's we?
Me, the crowd. We're kind of getting into it. We're cheering on Brianna, trying to get her to win the next set, obviously. But Katie starts really taking it to her and actually ends up winning. So they're all tied up at that point, and that's one set apiece. And so I start getting the crowd into it again, start chanting "Brianna, Brianna," like that to kind of get them more into it.
And what is your point?
The point is she called me out afterwards. She actually had the announcer come out and say, "Please be quiet." And she grabbed the mic, yelled, "Get that drunk guy in the yellow t-shirt out of here. He's ruining the game." So I had to be kicked out of it mid-match, and basically was treated like,
So,
just some
Mr.
drunk
Brenner, I
alcoholic.
want to be clear. You took it upon yourself to decide that this entire tennis charity event needed to be more lively, so you started to engage the audience and start chants?
Well, I mean, it's a charity thing. It's not a big deal. It's not like we're at the U.S. Open or anything like that. So, I mean, we were just doing it in good fun.
And
I mean,
so
other people
I
were
want to come
involved.
to you, Ms. Berkeley. He says you took the mic and told him to get this guy out of here.
Yes, that was.
You could hear him and hear the crowd while you're trying to play?
Yes, ma'am. That was during the second set, but there had been multiple times that he had called out in the crowd in the first set as well, and it had escalated, and he was instigating the crowd.
Because I don't know, I've never been to a tennis match where they're shouting and chanting like football. Have you in the gallery? No. Have you ever seen live tennis? I mean, even on TV, it doesn't look like that. So were you feeling like this is going to be a lighthearted day? All the chants and stuff are going to happen?
No, Your Honor. I wasn't. I was playing against one of my good friends, Brianna, who's here with me today. She's a great opponent. We're basically at the same level, so you never really know who's going to win. So I did take it very seriously. We're also trying to raise money for a charity, and I thought that's where the focus should be that day.
What prompted you to take the microphone and ask that he be removed?
So, thank you, Your Honor. In the first set, he had been calling out "Kiss my ace" several times, which I thought was rude and disrespectful. I had shot a couple of different aces, and I think it was my fourth ace, and he continued to call it out. The organizer and the umpire kept asking the crowd to be quiet, and then I went up to the stand where he was sitting, and I asked him to be quiet. Then in the second set, it only got worse when he started chanting out Brianna's name. So that's when I spoke to the organizer, and I spoke on the mic and asked to have the gentleman in the yellow shirt removed. He seems to be drunk, and he is ruining the game.
Coming up.
You keep talking about your life being damaged and you've been harmed, but you're the only one so far in the testimony that's been acting a fool.
And later.
Why did you quit, Miss So?
I quit because there is a situation I couldn't handle no more, Your Honor. I discovered that Mr. Howard was having an affair.
We're back with the case of Bobby Brenner, who brought Katie Berkeley to court for damaging his reputation.
So, You make that request, Mr. Brenner, what happens? Someone comes over to you, and what happens?
I was escorted out, and I did so after asked, obviously. I didn't make any big deal out of it, but the real problem is what happened after that. I was essentially defamed by, they kicked me out of the club for a full year, suspended me on that, started to actually get into my personal life. I coached my son's Little League team, and now they got wind of that. And
so you've
kicked me off
presented
for a
here the
year
letter
there,
of
too.
suspension. You've got a letter of suspension.
Yes, for
From the
suspension
tennis
from the
club.
tennis club for 1 year, and also from my son's Little League games, which I think went a bit too far in that situation. And I also work at a memorabilia shop, sports memorabilia shop, as a manager. We were getting constant calls all the time in terms of just kind of harassment because it started circulating online, on Twitter, and all these different things. And it was, starting to really ruin my life. It actually affected my work day, and I actually ended up having to take a month off of unpaid just to get away from it and to draw a little flack away from the business so that they didn't get any more deep water in connection to us.
So these are lost wages.
This is correct. For 1 month of unpaid wages there, or unpaid time off, I should say.
Okay, but your suit is for defamation of character. This isn't evidence that suggests that someone defamed you.
Well, this is actually what occurred. So we have here, I was tagged in this Twitter, I'm sorry, let me get that to you. I was tagged in this Twitter thing for Kiss My Ace, so I was called out online on social media. I actually even had a article written against me in the paper.
Kiss My Ace.
Yes.
But isn't this what you were saying at the tennis match?
I mean, it was, if I would have said an actual curse word, I'd be like, okay, maybe. But this was something that was just a
what
cheap.
I'm asking you is a yes or no question.
Yes,
Is this not what
Yes.
you were chanting at the tennis match?
Yes, yelling out something like that is one thing, but going after me and basically trying to damage my life and actually harm me in that way is way over the line compared to what actually happened.
I want to get back. You keep talking about your life being damaged and you've been harmed, but you're the only one so far in the testimony that's been acting a fool.
I don't see how in that situation that I was, deserving of that much, hit back on me.
Who defamed you? I need to hear testimony about the defamation.
When she said that I was a drunk and yelled that out and basically was like, get that drunk guy out of here, that was the moment where I was like, I'm not that kind of person. I don't need to be identified in that way. And when it actually started getting into the paper and everything like that, it went a little too far.
So you're saying in the paper, it was all about you being ejected, and
Yes.
it's about Ms. Berkeley saying you were
Right.
a drunk guy.
Right.
And so then everybody at the tennis match thought you were drunk.
Yeah, they just
When
think that
really
this is
you
something-
were just obnoxious.
If that's the way we could
Okay.
put it, that was technically, yeah.
I want to go over to Ms. Berkeley, and I want to hear from your witness as well, ma'am. As a matter of fact, let me hear from your witness now. Please stand up. State your name for the court.
My name is Brianna Petty.
Now, Ms. Petty, from previous testimony, we've heard that you were Ms. Berkeley's opponent that day.
Correct.
Could you also hear all this screaming?
I could, yes.
You could. How did it affect your play?
I mean, tennis is not a game where the crowd is supposed to be loud. Fans can cheer, but not while we're playing. So, this isn't football or basketball where everyone's supposed to be loud. While we're playing, it's supposed to be quiet so we can focus on the match at hand.
Right. So you were disturbed. Ms. Berkeley was disturbed. Mr. Brenner was just the only one having fun. Well, maybe the crowd
I would
was
say
too.
I don't think I was the only one. Right.
The crowd was having fun with it. The problem is that when you're acting like a person who is not aware of their surroundings and is not acting and behaving with the decorum necessary or required or expected in a certain situation, it is not unreasonable for somebody to think, this guy must be drunk. Right? Because what person, especially a person who belongs to a tennis club, watches tennis often, you knew these players, so for you to behave that way, it's not unreasonable for her to think this guy is out here drunk, acting a fool, making everybody chant, get him out of here, because at the end of the day, the focus shouldn't be on you, it should be on the charity that they're there to raise money for. It is nothing wrong with trying to have fun, but I think time and place are important here, and your judgment was off. With that said, when she made that comment, you really did the damage to your own reputation with your own behavior. It wasn't her calling you drunk that did it. It was your behavior, period. That's damage you did to yourself. With that said, judgment for the defendant, court is adjourned.
All rise.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
This is ridiculous. You know what you did.
I'm
It was
19 years
wrong.
old, man.
Yeah, maybe you should learn a little more responsibility before you ruin someone else's life.
Maybe you shouldn't take a 19-year-old to court over a tennis match for a charity.
Well, I guess you get to win anyways, so fine.
Coming up,
I made those purchases for his mistress.
Okay.
And
Well,
I have the proof.
let me move these papers over. Let's get down to the real nitty-gritty. Were you or were you not having an affair?
Steve and Julia Howard claims his former assistant made suspicious purchases with the company credit card before she quit. Lexi So says Mr. Howard approved all the charges as they were gifts for his mistress.
Good day, everyone. Good day. This is the case of Howard versus So. Mr. and Mrs. Howard, you are suing Miss So for $3,491.97 for unauthorized charges made using company funds. Is that correct?
Yes, that's Your Honor.
And Miss So, you say that all of the purchases made were authorized.
Yes, Your
All right, I'll start with the plaintiffs. Mr. and Ms. Howard, please tell the court what happened.
Okay, I'm here to sue my husband's former personal assistant for unauthorized charges that she made with the business card.
You and your husband own the business together?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay.
Again, he gave her this business card that he allowed her to use, but just for business matters.
All right, let's get to the point where you feel like you were made aware that there was some unauthorized charges going on.
So upon her quitting, I went in because we had to do an audit, go over the books. So I went over things, and I seen a lot of suspicious transactions that should not have been made as far as to technologies and jewelry.
Why did you quit, Miss So?
I quit because there is a situation I couldn't handle no more, Your Honor. I discovered that Mr. Howard was having an affair.
Okay. Is that true, Mr. Howard?
You know, I can't speak on that. All I know is I'm a businessman. I put in a position of power. She was my personal assistant. I helped her with anything
Just
she
tell
needed.
the
So
truth.
maybe she's just jealous, or maybe she's just upset.
Just tell the truth.
Coming up,
Your Honor, I have a witness that can prove all I'm saying.
Sean, please escort the witness into the courtroom.
we're back with a dispute between Steve and Julia Howard and his former assistant Lexi So over questionable credit card purchases.
What information were you privy to?
Those are the purchases that he's suing me for. I made those purchases for his mistress. And
Well,
I have the proof, Your
let
Honor.
me move these papers over. Let's get down to the real nitty-gritty. Were you or were you not having an affair? Well, since you don't want to answer.
I may have got, my wife is at home. My personal assistant left. I got to be in charge of hiring another personal assistant. You know, I'm by myself as a businessman. You know, it's very hard to sustain a business, being by yourself, being lonely.
What is he talking about?
Oh my God.
Your Honor, I have a witness that can prove all I'm saying.
Where's your witness? Sean, please escort the witness into the courtroom. Ma'am, you've already been sworn in. State your name for the court.
Sarah Jones.
Ms. Jones, what do you know about this situation?
Well, I started working for Mr. Howard about 3 years ago. He hired me. I'm a freelance graphic designer, and he told me that he was separated from his wife and that they were getting a divorce.
He told you he was separated?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you all separated, Ms. Howard?
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns.
You thought he was separated, but
Yes.
the truth is he wasn't even separated.
I'm learning that now, yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Howard, do you have anything to add? Sounds like you were having an affair with Miss Jones.
No, I just had her helping on my new logos. That's it.
So you're not admitting to an affair?
She helped with my logos. She helped with the, the infrastructure of my business. We had a few times where, we met.
For once.
So, Your Honor, the what's been submitted into evidence, those are gifts that were given to me, okay, by Mr. Howard.
Who is buying a diamond necklace for just a simple friend?
I just love doing business. That's all I can say.
Well, Mr. Howard, you definitely sticking to your story.
Your Honor, I love taking care of my people. I just love looking out for women. Black
You're just
women
going to
at
stick
that.
to this story, right? That we didn't have any. Your Honor, we were in love with each other.
Love?
We
Love?
had
Really?
something special. I thought we had something special.
It's just business. It's nothing personal.
All right. Well, it is what it is. You don't seem to care too much, so I hope that you are equally as unbothered and indifferent by not getting your money back today. Judgment for the defendant. Court is adjourned.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
Are you ready to be honest with your wife?
Yeah, I'm ready to be honest with her. She already know. I mean, I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean to hurt you. I didn't mean none of this to happen.
Trevor.
Gigi Tarani claims she lost out on a major contract after compromising photos of her were posted on social media. Sonia West says it's never been an issue in the past, and she was never told to keep the images confidential.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello. Thank you, Sean. Good day, everyone. Good day. This is the case of Tarani versus West. Ms. Tarani, you are suing Ms. West for $8,000 because you experienced emotional distress and lost sponsorships. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct.
What happened?
Absolutely. I, Your Honor, am a beauty blogger, and so I make a great deal of my money by representing brands and having brands want to partner with me. That's how I make my money. And I've just recently been building this aspect of my business, but I have been a news reporter for years, an entertainment reporter on the local news. That's when I met Sonia. I saw her work on social media, and she didn't have much of a following. And I thought, but I really liked her work. I mean, she did a great job. And so I reached out to her. And for several years, I've been a client. We've become what I thought was friends. And I actually helped her build her business. She had a small following. I had a very healthy following. And it worked that way. In fact, eventually she started giving me a discount on her services because I was bringing her so much business and bringing her tips and all of that.
Well, it sounds like you're her agent. So how did this go wrong?
Exactly.
And you're in here suing her. What happened?
I am, because I lost a major contract because she posted really humiliating, compromising pictures of me that affected my brand. I came to her because I was experiencing some hair loss, which I never wanted it to be a public issue. I had
Did
a
you
child.
express that to her?
No, you did not. Absolutely, absolutely.
Ms. West, do you remember Ms. Tarani expressing to you, I'm coming to you for a hair issue, I don't want it to be public?
Well, she definitely told me she was coming to me because she was experiencing some postpartum hair loss, but she definitely did not tell me that I couldn't post. I mean, I've been posting her for a while now. Like she said, she's been my client for years. I've made similar posts. And
what kind of pictures of her have you posted in the past?
I posted pictures of the back of her head and me, the styles that I've done with her, just curling her hair and things like that, her haircuts and all of that.
So back to the plaintiff, Ms. Tarani, you say you had an ongoing relationship with Ms. West as your hairstylist, but you wanted to confide in her about an issue we're having postpartum with hair loss.
And she never posted anything similar to this. She said she posted similar posts.
You didn't have hair that was lost
She
before.
posted pictures of my hair looking great, me smiling. I was posting it too. I wanted to help her build
You
her
were
business.
tagging me.
I believe, yeah, I was tagging her. I wanted
You were
to
the
help her
one
build
who
her
told-
business.
exactly. You told me to post.
And so I was posting because it looked great.
Girl.
I was getting lots of compliments. When she says she posted similar posts, she has never made a post of a detrimental situation that she knows I was distraught about. I mean, there were times I was in tears in her chair because she knew I was so embarrassed by this. I was so humiliated by this. She knew I had a brand deal in the works with a hair care company.
So she posted pictures of the condition.
Yes, my before picture.
Yeah, before and
I
after.
did not give her permission to do that. When I knew she was taking pictures.
Yeah, it wasn't
so she
like
did. I knew she was taking pictures, but
And what did you think she was taking pictures for?
My understanding was and it made sense, check the progression of growth. You know, you need a before to see how the growth treatments are working. Made total sense. But even then, even though I felt it was just for our use, I still said, I don't even want my face in it. Because
How
I was
did you
so
find
paranoid.
out you were posted? You saw it?
People called me. It was so obviously me. If you look at the post,
I blurred your face. Do you have a copy of the post?
I do. I not only have a copy of her post, but I also have a post right behind it of one that she actually tagged my name. And you can see they're so similar. So the one in which my name's tagged, people know it's me. And then the detrimental one, she didn't tag me by name, but it's so obviously me. And if you look under it in the comments, you'll see people tag my name because they know it's me. And they were saying, oh my gosh, Gigi, I'm so sorry you have to deal with this. I'm so sorry you have to go through this hair loss.
So this is, yeah. I see this post, Ms. West. It says hair loss can be embarrassing, but we can solve it together.
Yes.
This is just one client I've helped on her journey to fuller hair. And you've blocked out her face, but her profile is still very recognizable.
Coming up.
She has taken me out by the knees for the chance of working with any hair care brand.
Oh, I
That
highly
is a
doubt
huge
that.
part of
Well,
my business.
that's not necessarily true because you could work with a hair care brand that says they specialize in regrowing.
I don't want to be known for that.
Closed captioning provided by. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. We're back with the case of Gigi Tarani, who brought Sonia West to court over a compromising social media post.
And that's tagged with my name on it. So,
I mean, you've tagged me in posts
because
before,
that's a picture of my hair looking good.
So this is the next post where it says, great working with, and you tag her.
Yes.
Gigi Tarani, look at her amazing hair. So this is after she started to grow it out.
I mean, look at her hair now. You ain't got no bald spots now?
So,
That's
Ms.
not the
West,
point.
I do want to get to you, and I want to understand your position in this. Why did you decide to post these particular pictures?
So I posted these particular pictures because I was very proud of my work and so excited that I worked really hard for these 6 months to help you grow your hair back healthy. And I wanted to show and have people know that there is sunshine at the end of the road if you have hair loss. And I didn't post it to be malicious or anything. I was just posting it, to give encouragement. And because she is an influencer and she has been talking about her postpartum journey, I didn't think that it would be a problem. And again.
So you were talking about your postpartum journey on your page, Ms. Tarani.
Yes, but not my hair loss. I said postpartum's tough, and I was sharing my experience with others on how tough it was, but I wasn't willing to share hair loss. I mean, this is such an embarrassing thing. I'm going to therapy for it now.
Well, I should be in therapy too. For you dragging me to court,
lucky I'm
girl.
not suing her for the medical bills, which I included to show you that they came after this incident because after I went to the dermatologist, she recommended I go to a dermatologist. They said stress, anxiety, this whole situation. Actually,
you were stressed.
It makes the
and had
condition
anxiety
worse.
before you came
and
to
so
me.
it makes the condition worse. And I'm seeing a therapist to try to mitigate this because it's making the situation worse. And
So
this
you
is
had to go to the dermatologist. You have a bills for the dermatologist for $776. You have
and now
another bill for therapy for
stress and anxiety
$600.
and that
in my chair.
And so that's $700 and $600 and $776. What is the other amount for? It totals.
Well, actually, it's $8,000 for the contract. So there's also a contract there with the hair care brand that I signed and agreed to. And you'll notice that they sent me a letter rescinding that contract because of her social media post.
And what about her social media post interfered with whatever their...
They don't want to be associated with hair loss. They've already had some things or people talking about their products that there might be hair loss. And it's not just this contract,
And
Your
I
Honor.
told you that.
It's not just this contract.
I told you not to go with
She has taken
them.
me out by the knees for the chance of working with any hair care brand.
Oh, I
That
highly
is a
doubt
huge
that.
part of my
Well,
business.
that's not necessarily true because you could work with a hair care brand that says they specialize in regrowing.
I don't want to be known for that.
But listen, that's not the point I'm making. But I do understand, and I can see from this contract, that you did receive a letter stating that due to the posts, right, that they regret to inform you that they can't proceed with the promotion they had planned, and they may find another fit with you later, but right now, this particular collaborative effort was going to be canceled.
Right.
And this is because it didn't align with what they wanted to promote. How much money did you lose on this deal?
That was an $8,000 contract. And I also want to point out, Your Honor, that it should be my choice what I want to represent. She has no right to exploit me. I'm probably the most well-known celebrity client she has. She didn't have hardly any following before me. And she should not be able to exploit me. I did not give permission to show me in this light, to give her permission to show me in this light. And it should be my choice what products I want to represent and if I want to represent myself as a hair loss person.
And what do you have to say to that, Ms. West?
Okay, Your Honor, I was not exploiting her. Like I said before, we have agreed. I was giving you discounted services. Now, it wasn't a formal agreement, but I gave you discounted services to be able to post my work. And now, the only reason why we're here, Your Honor, is because she came back to me after the fact of me posting that and this horrible thing that's happening to her that she's brought me here to sue me for, is because I told her that I'm not going to give her discounted services anymore because I can't post my journey with her or my work with her anymore. So she's going to have to pay full price. She got very upset, and this is why we're here in court now. She didn't have a problem coming back to me after the post and everything. I have some evidence here as well.
Please pass your evidence up to me. I'd like to see what you have.
Yes.
So you feel like because you said now you're not going to get discounts so you can post, she's now upset, and so she's basically saying, well, you owe me $8,000.
Yes, Your Honor. And
do you still want to work with Ms. West, Ms. Tarani?
Well, I was actually willing. I did go back to her. I already had an appointment scheduled. After this post happened, she took it down immediately. I already had an appointment scheduled because she is helping me with the hair growth. And I really thought at that point, like, could this have been a mistake? But her response to me, that whole thing about charging me full price, that whole thing, like, it made me realize that she is just doing this. She doesn't care about me at all. She totally knew what she was doing.
Coming up.
You're growing her hair back. And your services work. Hold on. It's working. And this is where compromise and resolution are so key when it comes to legal disputes. Because there's a way to work.
We're back with the case of Gigi Tarani, who brought Sonia West to court over a compromising social media post.
I do see where you sent the text and she says, of course, I will take it down immediately. I'm so sorry.
The damage was done.
This is the issue. Ms. West, I don't think you were being malicious, but you also did want to brand your business. When you were taking the pictures, she was trusting that they were just progress notes, right? Markers.
Okay.
The issue that I'm having is, as a licensed stylist and as a person who understands how important a person's hair is to them, our hair is our crown. Sean, it's okay, because you still have a crown. Still handsome, still have a crown. But I do not think it was professionally responsible of you to post these pictures that you took without having explicit agreement between the two of you. I think that that's just common respect.
Well, Your Honor, she never told me not to post them.
But she never told you to post it. And a person has a right to control and be able to make and create boundaries around how their name and their likeness will be used. I do not think it was malicious. However, there was a direct consequence, a business consequence that she faced as a result of your actions. Now, this is the issue that I'm having, because I don't want y'all to file out because you're growing her hair back. And your services work. Hold on. It's working. And this is where compromise and resolution are so key when it comes to legal disputes, because there's a way to work this out. You say she owes you $8,000. But at the same time, you really want to continue to go to her.
No.
You don't want to go to her.
I do not.
Coming up.
I'm not going to go after her for the therapy or the emotional distress, even though this is.
I mean, you've been going to therapy before that. So let's be real.
We're back with the case of Gigi Tarani, who brought Sonia West to court over a compromising social media post.
She could give me discounted services for the rest of my life, and it still
So,
wouldn't
Ms.
add up to the
Tarani,
business
this
that
is
I've
one of the
given her.
things right here.
No.
People do this all the time. I gotta go. I was trying to help you all resolve this, but I got other people to help. This is exactly what happens. As you're moving to resolution, somebody gotta pop off and start running their mouth and head the opposite direction from the middle ground that I'm trying to have you find. You say she's a great hairstylist. You've gone to her for years. You've invested so much in her and even helped her build this business. Now all of a sudden you're going to fall out because she invaded your privacy. I don't think that you want to really end the relationship. I think you're hurt because of the invasion of privacy. All I'm saying to you is, right now, you think she owes you $8,000. But you could still potentially salvage this relationship, and so could you, Ms. West, if you were able to work out between the two of you how you could potentially make that right.
I agree with you, Your Honor.
She says you owe her $8,000. What could you potentially offer in this moment to say, listen, I feel terrible? It's obvious in the text. You immediately said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'll take it down right away.
Yeah, I feel bad. Like I said, I wasn't trying to do this maliciously.
So let's stop talking from polar opposite sides of the room. And for the $8,000 that she says she owes you that she lost in a brand deal, what could you do?
I mean, I can offer my services for free for a few months.
You could.
I could.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns.
I feel like I already did compromise by just going with the contract that I lost as a result of this. And so my attempt at compromising and keeping the relationship, which is why I went to her one more time with that spirit, with that attitude, was, you know what, I'm not going to go after her for the therapy or the emotional distress, even though
I mean, you've been going to therapy before that. So let's be real.
You want to expose more of my...
Ms. West, listen. I tried to help you. And that comment right there, the way you just outed her. See, this is where you go wrong. Because I was working to try to help her meet you in the middle so that potentially you all could resolve that. But just that very statement, you've been going to therapy even before that. I didn't know that. Sean didn't know that. Nobody in the gallery knew that. That was your attempt to out her, which is exactly what you did on that internet post, which even though you say it's not malicious, now you make me double and think again and double back and say, well, maybe she is.
I'm just not, I don't want her to blame me for going to therapy.
Something just happened. Did you feel what just happened, Sean?
I completely felt
I'm not trying to be blamed for
Judging for the
therapy.
plaintiff for $8,000. Pay, honey.
All rise.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $8,000.
You lost out losing me.
You lost out losing me.
You're
Look at your hair. Look at your hair. Look
There's
at your
other
hair.
hairstylists.
Okay, that's why your hair was falling out when you came to me.
Well, it looks like this won't be resolved here, so
It definitely ain't. You
Follow
have to
me.
give that money back from me in blood, girl.
Evelyn Royce claims a defective sleep app not only caused her to nod off while teaching, it got her suspended without pay. Amelia Nova says her app is highly rated and well reviewed, so it's unlikely the app is faulty.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello, thank you, Sean. Good day, everyone. Good day. This is the case of Royce versus Nova. Ms. Royce, you are suing Ms. Nova for $3,800. You claim that her app caused you to be suspended without pay. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Ms. Nova, you say that no one else complained about the app but Ms. Royce.
Exactly.
All right, what kind of app is this?
This is a Yanni app, and yes.
Yanni app, as in yawn.
Yes.
Okay.
And so what it does is I am a school teacher, and I recently went through a past divorce, and I was feeling really sluggish, and I wasn't sleeping well at night. And so what I was doing was I was trying to find an app to help me sleep at night.
All right, so you found the Yanni app, downloaded it. Did it work? What do you do? What do you do on the Yanni app, Ms. Nova? How did you design this?
Thank you for asking, Your Honor. So the Yanni app is an app I created, and at night there are recordings that help you go to sleep. By listening to the recordings that I recorded of yawning, your body starts to actually relax. And then we have a really cool feature that is for the Yanni app that we also have daytime yawns as well. So it actually helps perk you up during the day because, you know, we all yawn when we're kind of tired and bored. That's because that's your brain trying to get some oxygen in, some carbon dioxide out, and it's kind of speeding up your heart rate too. So it's a very revolutionary app.
Oh, so you're saying, learn something new every day at We the People. So a daytime yawn doesn't just signify that you're tired, it's the body's response to wanting to get pepped up or revved up?
Exactly, yeah, it helps speed up your heart rate and it kind of revs you back up. That's why we all yawn when we're kind of bored or kind of in a slow moment. It's your body in its own way being like, okay, this is when I have to wake back up.
I did not know that. All right, so Ms. Royce, you purchased the Yanni app.
I did.
Did it work for you?
Well, here's what happened is I was looking for something, and so I purchased the trial for $3.99 a month on the trial basis, and then I downloaded it, and then what happened was I did it for a couple days, and in those days, nighttime, I wasn't sleeping, I was taking medication before, and it was hurting my stomach, and I was trying to sleep for more hours. So I started using the Yanni app, and it worked for the nighttime.
So if you're using it before bed, how does it make you miss your pay from your job, presumably?
Okay, so what happened was I was taking this medication. I went to a sleep clinic, and they said it was all stress from my divorce. I was just getting divorced, and I wasn't having a good enough amount of sleep. And so I'm a teacher, right? I'm a school teacher. And so I tried to use it during the day. I was drinking a ton of coffee, like 3 cups.
You were doing the daytime version.
Yes.
Which is supposed to be the version that perks you up.
Right. Okay, so what happened to me was the first day I went and I used the product, and it was making me a little sleepy, but I was able to get through the first day. The second day wasn't as, I was a little bit sleepy, but I still was getting through the day. And the third day it was just teaching all day. And the third day they were giving presentations, and I was using the app, and I was going through the process, and I was a little bit tired, but not totally. So the fourth day came up, and I was giving tests, and I must adjust after I had done exactly how I had done the days prior. I did exactly the same thing. I fell asleep.
In class?
In class. And one of my students filmed me and put it on social media.
Oh, all right.
So it was all over social media as the sleeping teacher.
So you're the sleeping teacher.
Yes.
Then I'm sure that went viral.
Oh, it went viral. It had 5,000 views. And then what happened was I got called into the principal's office.
All right. So you got in trouble for sleeping on the job.
Correct.
How many times? One time?
One time.
And they suspended you?
And they suspended me without pay for a whole month.
Wow.
Yes. That was $3,800 was the total amount.
Coming up.
I have a 4.8 star rating for our app with over 8,000 reviews. So it feels kind of out of left field that all of a sudden the app doesn't work for Ms. Royce here.
And later.
So the next time I seen her after that was 3 hours before the show. She tells me, she's like, I want a tearaway dress. And I'm like, I already made your dress. So what more do you want me to?
We're back with the case of Evelyn Royce, who blames Amelia Nova for causing her to fall asleep at work and get suspended without pay.
All right, so you lost $3,800.
Correct.
And you believe the defendant owes you that money?
Correct.
Why?
Well, on the branding of her product, the app, it says that it keeps you awake
Let me see
and
that,
keeps
please.
you refreshed.
Take all of your
Oh, yeah. So here's the other evidence I have as well. I'm giving
Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. So you say her app advertises itself as a way to keep you awake and keep you fresh. Okay, Yanni, get the best night's sleep and feel energized during the day with just one app. All right, so you can go to sleep and you can stay up.
Correct.
So, Ms. Nova, you are, I'm sure, aware of your marketing and how you advertise your app. You raise your hand. Is there something you'd like to offer?
Well, I also have evidence to give. May I submit it to the court
Please,
now,
what
Your Honor?
evidence is that, ma'am?
I gave the bailiff recordings earlier if we would like to listen to some of the yawning, but in addition, that piece of paper right there is some of my reviews. I have a 4.8 star rating for our app with over 8,000 reviews. So it feels kind of out of left field that all of a sudden the app doesn't work for Ms. Royce here.
Did anybody bring any evidence of how this works?
Yes, so I gave the bailiff evidence earlier today. It's sound recordings. We can play the nighttime and the daytime
All
yawning
right,
recordings.
I'd like to see that, please. The video that was submitted to the court. Is this daytime or nighttime?
This is for the daytime, so you're not supposed to yawn.
So is this the app that made you fall asleep in the middle of the day, Ms. Royce?
Absolutely, it's the app. And
It's
I've
what she's
also-
accusing
I
of making her
also have-
fall asleep during the day. You know, she also said she quit coffee cold turkey. So how is my app held responsible when maybe it's the coffee intake, or
Well,
perhaps she
I
played
don't
the
really believe
nighttime
so,
one
because
during
I've
the
never
day?
fallen asleep, and I didn't have a coffee intake before I started doing this, and so before the divorce, and so
Is this your first divorce?
it is my first
Okay,
divorce.
so you never got divorced before either.
No.
'Cause, yeah, that'll make you tired.
That's what I'm saying.
Honey, take it from me.
It is.
But listen, Ms. Nova, I want to understand from you before I rule on this. You do say that this app, right, this is how you're marketing it, is going to help refresh you. So what do you offer for clients where it just doesn't work for them?
Well, again, this is an alternative for people that have tried everything else, like me. You know, the alarm across the room, the being groggy all day, the sleeping pills that make you have the alarm
But
across
if
the
it
room.
doesn't work, is there a money-back guarantee? Like,
Well, that's why we have a $3.99 trial period month.
And
That's
that's
all
what
the
I-
money she lost on the actual app.
Well, that's
Her
not true.
falling
I lost
asleep in class was nothing to
$3,800
do
as well.
with the app.
All right. Well, this is the issue.
And then also, I just wanted to tell you, I did give you the, my principal sent me that letter where I got in trouble for, you know, falling asleep, and the parents called the school, and so did they emailed them as well. And I put that in there, the letter from the principal as well.
Yeah, I did see that. I saw that. And listen, you fell asleep in the class. I mean, there's nothing to refute. You've admitted it in open court. The issue becomes, as a teacher, right?
Right.
What are your responsibilities, right? What are you being irresponsible to use an app like this during class time? Bottom line, is this your fault or this Ms. Nova's fault?
Well, the branding on that did state that it was going to refresh me, and that's what I followed.
And you said it worked immediately. You at first, the first 7
I
days,
said I
you
was
were
a little
sleeping
bit
at
tired.
night.
I worked. Yes, I did
But
say that.
No. There's nothing really to fight about here, because you purchased an app that did work for you in some respects, right? Every app is not going to solve every problem. The problem is you utilized the app at a time when you were responsible for a class on your job.
Correct.
I believe that there was a more responsible time to try to use an app that generates yawns, right? Even if it would have refreshed you, it is of my opinion that I don't want my son's teacher yawning during a test, during things, just consistently yawning over and over again, because whether it's that to wake you up or not, it looks like you are not interested. It signifies that you're not paying attention. And so to choose to use the app while you're teaching it in class, I don't think was very responsible. I think this is something you maybe should have used on your break, when you were on the break room, or gone to your car. Maybe tried to use it then. Used it at lunch when you had time by yourself. Because trying to use it in your classroom, for me, is just the wrong time. And the fact that you fell asleep, I do not think it has anything to do with the app. I have to say that I think it has to do with just the mental struggle and trauma you're going through with a divorce. I respect the fact that you tried everything you could, but you can't blame the Yanni app because you fell asleep in class. Do you understand?
Yes.
For that reason, judgment for the defendant. Court is adjourned.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
I'm sorry about the loss, but it's just not something my app should be held accountable for, okay?
What if a doctor was using that during surgery?
What if a doctor knows how to read
you
the
claim that it's going to keep
instructions?
him awake as he's in the middle of surgery.
I'm sorry about your
Fantastic.
divorce. I'm sorry about your paychecks, but Yanni's not held accountable for that.
It
I
should
really
be.
am so sorry,
It really
but
should be.
I hope you get a good rest somehow.
Please follow me out.
Coming up,
You sent the money before he ever did the dress?
I trusted him.
Your Honor, she sent me the $200 after the dress was already made and it was completed to her liking at the moment. She called me last minute to tell me that she wanted to tear away.
So you thought you were done.
Rachel Meadows claims a custom dress for a special event was poorly made, so she deserves her money back. Courtney Whitlock says Ms. Meadows demanded last-minute changes to the design, so she has no one to blame but herself.
Good day, everyone. Good day. This is the case of Meadows versus Whitlock. Ms. Meadows, you are suing Mr. Whitlock for $200 for a refund, you say, for a poorly constructed dress. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And Mr. Whitlock, you say that the plaintiff purchased the wrong material.
Correct.
All right, so this is the dress?
Yes.
Tell me what happened, Ms. Meadows.
So I am an influencer. I hired this guy to, make me a dress, make me look nice. I had this event to go to for the special dance. It's called Chicago Dance Chicago.
So that's the dress you got?
Yes.
Do you have a picture of what you asked for?
Yes, Your Honor, I do. It's right
Let me see that,
here.
please, Sean.
Thank you.
So how did you find Mr. Whitlock? You saw him online or he was referred to you?
Yeah, he was referred to me, Your Honor. His mentor, I believe. I used to work with him for many years. I thought that he would be able to make it happen.
So this is the dress you wanted?
Yes.
So,
What I
Mr.
ended
Whitlock,
up
I
with.
want to hear from you. You got this picture first.
So this is the original dress we constructed.
Okay.
So we had 3 times that we met up. So she was supposed to have a third fitting just to make sure all the measurements, everything was good. It felt really comfortable and tight, like how she wanted it, because she was going to be dancing in it. So I wanted to make sure she was able to move around. So with that fitting, she did not show up. So the next time I seen her after that was 3 hours before the show. She tells me, she's like, I want a tearaway dress. And I'm like, I already made your dress. So what more do you want me to do?
Coming up,
Well, does that dress tear away?
Yes.
Sean, tear that away. Let's see how that tears away.
we're back with the case of Rachel Meadows, who brought Courtney Whitlock to court over a poorly constructed dress.
Did you all have a contract? Because I don't see anything in here. Do you all have a written contract? Where is the communication?
Everything was through call.
Yeah, we talked on the phone a lot, and we did, like she said, we did have an invoice, but that's
All right, so I see the invoice. It's $200 and you sent the money.
Yes.
You sent the money before he ever did the dress?
I trusted him,
Your Honor, she sent me the $200 after the dress was already made and it was completed to her liking at the moment. She called me last minute to tell me that she wanted to tear away.
So you thought you were done with the dress?
Yes.
You had gotten the money?
Yeah.
And you thought she was satisfied?
Yeah.
Is that true, Ms. Meadows?
That is correct.
The dress was done, you were satisfied, you hand him the $200, you had that dress. And then, within these 3 hours, you determined, I really wanted to tear away. How can I do that? He says you're gonna need Velcro with adhesive.
And he said he can make it happen.
Right.
That's the more.
Well, does that dress tear away?
Yes, but it, I
Sean,
can show
tear
you. I
that
can show
away.
you. I'm like, I can show you.
Let's see how that tears away. Ooh.
And leaves that ugly white adhesive or like the Velcro tape right there in the middle of the dress.
Girl, that's what you gave me to put on
Wait
the
a
dress.
minute.
You told me to give it to you.
Well, I didn't think you were gonna pick up that little cheap crap.
I don't know why you had a good enough dress that you were happy with, that you paid for, and it sounds like, that's why I asked you to solidify it. Sounds like what you paid him for, he delivered. Because you paid him for the dress you said you were satisfied with.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns.
Ultimately, this is a situation where Ms. Meadows, listen, I think, especially women, when we get a dress made, we got a lot of ideas, right? Our ideas, right, often have to be tempered by our expert or our seamstress's understanding of what we want to do.
Correct, yeah.
Sometimes you want things, but you don't know how they functionally can come to life and within your budget. $200 dress, you had a solid dress that you approved of for $200. Adding a full tearaway moment is going to be another layer that honestly was supposed to cost you some more money. At the end of the day, I don't believe that you owe the plaintiff the $200 back, but I do believe you lost far more than $200, right, in your reputation by letting a design like that be shown in public. Don't do that again. You understand?
Okay.
Judgment for the defendant. Court is adjourned.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed.
Next time you gotta do better, because
You got to do better.
no,
Everybody
don't
gonna
buy
see this
cheap
dress.
stuff next time.
Oh!
Sir, could you please pick that up?
You're cheap.
Diana Ruiz claims her former partner spread untrue statements about her to members of their church and the wider community. Fred Turnick admits he blames his ex for their daughter's death, but says none of his statements were false.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello, thank you, Sean. Good day, everyone. Good day. This is the case of Ruiz versus Turnick. Ms. Ruiz, you are suing Mr. Turnick for $6,400 for slanderous comments. Is that correct?
Correct.
And the defendant, you say that the plaintiff is irresponsible and an alcoholic.
That's correct.
All right. I'll start with you, Ms. Ruiz. You say Mr. Turnick made slanderous comments about you.
Correct.
In what respect?
He basically has been telling our community and in the church community that I'm drinking and that our child died because of my drinking. And that was through a car accident that I had. So basically, I picked her up from school and then I went to the parking lot where I was, right? And I changed her. Then we left to go to her practice and for soccer practice. When I was on the way to soccer practice, that's when a car passed the red light and hit my car.
While you were en route to soccer practice?
Correct.
Okay. And your daughter was injured fatally?
When we were at the hospital, I asked for her because I was minor scratches, but my daughter didn't make it.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Turnick, Ms. Ruiz is saying that you're making slanderous comments. You both have been through so much, and I'm so very sorry for your loss. And now we're here because she's saying these slanderous comments are causing her significant damages. Can you tell me a little bit about how you're feeling in this?
Your Honor, first of all, nothing that I've said is untrue. I've only stated the facts and things from personal experience, being with Ms. Ruiz for several years together. She was an alcoholic. She was drinking while we were together. She was drinking while we were pregnant. There was an incident where she was drinking in my apartment and she got so drunk that she was vomiting blood. I had to take her to the hospital because she was vomiting blood while 4 months pregnant.
Oh my goodness.
So my statements are backed by fact. Nothing that I've said about her or her reputation were untrue, Your Honor. So.
So is there a reason why? I mean, you all have been through the most unspeakable pain. And whether or not you were together in the relationship, you shared a child together, and you both lost that child. Is there a reason why you feel it necessary to even speak about Ms. Ruiz in public?
Denise she was my best friend. I loved her from the day she was born. my daughter she made me the happiest man in the world. And when she passed, I needed support. And I turned to my church, I turned to my community for support, for guidance, for relief. And I was just voicing my frustration and was just trying to get help from my support network.
You needed to get that pain out. You
Yes.
needed to talk through feelings of intense pain and trauma. And so it wasn't your intention to defame Ms. Ruiz in any way, but to talk about your lives and how you were interacting before and after your daughter's unfortunate death. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. And so as you listen, Ms. Ruiz, and you hear Mr. Turnick talk about the fact that he is just trying to get his pain out, not trying to defame you, talk to the court about the damages you've suffered as a result of his statements.
Your Honor, I understand where he's coming from, but for him, the church wasn't just for him, it was for me too. I had to get that support too. I had to rely on my friend Jamie because without her, I don't think I could make it. The church, he was there all the time and I could not be there because he's there and I don't want to have any problems. So I could not go to the church. However, when I did talk to a few people at the church, I would hear them talk about me, that I was basically the town drunk.
Coming up.
I never said that she was intoxicated while driving and getting into a car accident that killed her daughter. I just said that she was an alcoholic for many years prior to that.
People are calling me child killer.
We're back with the case of Diana Ruiz, who brought her late child's father, Fred Turnick, to court after he spread lies about her.
Did you feel that this accident was Ms. Ruiz's fault, Mr. Turnick?
To be honest, Your Honor, I did. Because from my experience with her, she was not only a responsible mother, she was also not a good driver. When Denise was going to preschool, she was constantly late picking her up. She was always in a hurry. So if she was on time, if she wasn't late, if she wasn't
I have to work.
distracted, yes, but you can work and drive safely, not put in our daughter, who's now dead.
But it wasn't my fault, and I showed you. I have proof here.
Look, all I'm saying is
What
that...
proof did you bring, Ms. Ruiz?
I have the evidence from the police report that it was not my fault.
May
and
I see
also
that,
have
please?
other proof.
Sean, will you pass that to me,
Thank
please?
you.
You're welcome.
So you have evidence here that states a blood alcohol test on 1-3, 0.0%. So her blood alcohol test at the time of the accident, she wasn't drinking. Did you know that?
I didn't know that, Your Honor. But they...
And then here's a collision report, police report, saying she was not at fault.
But I don't
So
think...
have you seen this as well?
Yes, but the report doesn't indicate if she was speeding. I don't know what if she was distracted. I still think that there was a possibility that she could have avoided this accident. I wasn't there. All I know is that years prior of being with her, of raising our child together,
Called an accident.
she was distracted. She was late. She was drinking for many years prior to us being together.
Do you admit, Ms. Ruiz, that you were drinking for many years? You do have a problem with alcohol?
I've been seeing the ASN for about 5 years, and I've been sober since then.
So your damages are, I see here, $6,400 in moving costs.
Correct.
Why did you move?
It was very painful for me. I was born and raised in Paso Robles, and I felt that that was the place where I wanted to have my family, to grow up, my own family. I had my baby, which was my daughter, Denise. I had my ex right here, Fred, with me, and I thought this was the family place to be because that's where I grew up. But then when this accident happened, I have to live with this, Your Honor. I have to live with my own daughter's death, that it was in my back seat. It's like I literally got off work, picked her up, changed her, and then drive, and then a car came over and hit the car. It was like, that's traumatic
It's
already.
unthinkable. You can't
Thank you.
It's almost unbelievable.
I don't have nobody to be with me, a
So
partner.
this tragic accident that killed your daughter, it also destroyed the relationship as well?
No, the relationship got destroyed because of my alcohol situation back when I was pregnant. We broke up because of that.
All right.
It did not work out for
So
us.
why did you feel you needed to move, and why do you think Mr. Turnick should be responsible for that cost?
Because I relied on the church to go to, and I was going through that pain, and I needed that support. I needed family to be around, and I didn't have anybody. My boss actually had to let me go because in his business, because of his rumors that he was passing around.
So, Mr. Turnick, if you saw the police report, you knew at the time of the accident she hadn't been drinking. She also had proof that she had been going to alcohol counseling and meetings. Why did you feel the need to speak about this in the church, in the community, so much so that it compounded pain for not just Ms. Ruiz, but for you as well?
Well, Your Honor, I never said that she was intoxicated while driving and getting into a car accident that killed her daughter. I just said that she was an alcoholic for many years prior to that.
People are calling me child killer.
But like I mentioned earlier, I needed a support system as well. She's got ASN, I have my church, I have my community. I needed to grieve. What people did with that information, I have no control over. If they give her looks at the store, if her boss fired that, it's not because I called and said.
So is it your testimony, you merely confided in, and this is not your entire church, these are members of your church, or either the counseling arm of your church, that there had been issues in the relationship before, talking to them about what happened in the relationship. But are you stating in court today that you never once accused her or stated that she was drinking during the accident?
That is correct. I never said that because I knew from the day that we broke up, when she was vomiting while pregnant, I knew that she signed up for ASN and that she took responsibility and she took action to solve her problem. So I knew she started going to ASN and cleaning herself up. So I did know that most likely she wasn't intoxicated while driving, although I don't know for sure.
Coming up.
I can attest also to the fact that he did make slanderous remarks that even I know of and heard of.
What did you hear?
That he accused her of being drunk and causing the...
We're back with the case of Diana Ruiz, who brought her late child's father, Fred Turnick, to court after he spread lies about her.
Ms. Ruiz, you brought a witness. I'd like to hear from her. Ma'am, will you please stand and approach the podium?
Yes, Your Honor.
You've been sworn in. Please state your name for the court.
Jamie Heldon.
Ms. Heldon, what relationship do you have to Ms. Ruiz?
I am her counselor at Alcoholics Support Network.
Okay. And are you here to testify on her behalf that she has been, in fact, attending meetings? I did see several pieces of paper and certificates from the center in the evidence folder.
Yes, Your Honor. I can attest to the fact that she has been sober since the birth of her daughter. I've known Diana for 6 years now. Throughout that whole time, even after the passing of her daughter, she went through a deep depression to the point where she was even suicidal and wanted to take her life. But she allowed me and the other members of ASN to help her through that difficult time, and she remained sober. And Fred did not make it easy for her. I can attest also to the fact that he did make slanderous remarks that even I know of and heard of.
What did you hear?
That he accused her of being drunk and causing the death of her daughter. And members of the community were going around with that information and saying that she was a child killer.
coming up.
I didn't hear him say it personally, but there were members of the community that told me that he...
We're back with the case of Diana Ruiz, who brought her late child's father, Fred Turnick, to court after he spread lies about her.
Did you hear that personally?
Yes, I heard it personally.
You heard him say it personally?
I didn't hear him say it personally, but there were members of the community that told me that he...
But they aren't here?
No.
So that's hearsay. They're not here to testify about that.
They told it to me.
Exactly, but you did not hear it firsthand.
No, not from his mouth.
All right, thank you. I've heard sufficient testimony. This is very difficult because you all have survived the unthinkable, which is the death of a child. There are no words that I can even string together right now that could, I'm sure, describe the pain and the trauma that you felt and are still feeling. And this is why this is so difficult, because you're in court today suing for moving expenses that you felt like you needed. The other hand, Mr. Turnick, I hear you when you say, I really relied on my church and I needed to speak to people about what we've been through. To have to hear a dispute between parents who have lost a child so recently is, it's just very difficult. Ms. Ruiz, even your witness testified that she had not heard firsthand Mr. Turnick say anything that would defame you, but she had an understanding through hearsay. That's testimony I can't accept.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns.
However, Mr. Turnick, through his very own testimony, leads this court to believe that you were, in fact, at church speaking in a slanderous way about Ms. Ruiz. It was interesting to hear you say you confided in your church members, but it was to the exclusion of Ms. Ruiz. And it would seem to me that this would be a conversation you would invite her in unless you held some very hard feelings and deep in your soul feel like she was responsible, despite the fact that the police report and the toxicology says she is not. This was neither of your fault. Speaking badly about the other does not bring your daughter back. But unfortunately, I do believe, Mr. Turnick, the statements that you made cause very real damages to Ms. Ruiz. It is for that reason, judgment for the plaintiff for $6,400.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I hope you'll find a way to work through this so your little girl can rest in peace.
Thank you.
Court is adjourned.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $6,400.
I can't believe this. I mean, why did you have to take me to court? You're just rubbing salt in my wound.
I know
It's
what
your
you're going
fault.
through.
You could have gotten a job, get a loan,
I'm going
pay this for
through it
yourself.
too.
You're not even together.
You have to understand what I'm going through.
Why am I responsible for your expenses moving to Seattle?
Ashley and Katrina Marshall claim they enlisted their friend to get them both pregnant, but now he refuses to pay for the gender reveal party. Robert Pham says he won't pay up until a DNA test proves that he's the dad.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello, thank you, Sean. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
This is the case of Marshall versus Pham. The Marshalls are suing Mr. Pham for $5,000 for the cost of a gender reveal party. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And Mr. Pham, you say you're not the father, so you don't owe them anything.
That's correct.
Okay, well, this sounds interesting. Let's begin with the plaintiffs. So you say he owes you the cost of the gender reveal party you were having for a baby you're expecting.
Yes, that's
Tell
correct,
the court
Your
what
Honor.
happened.
Yeah, so we had an agreement with Robert that he would be the father to both of our babies. You know, this is my wife. We are married. We have always wanted a family. It's very important to us that the children are related. So unfortunately, the only way to do that is if they have the same father. And he made an agreement, his idea,
that he would be the father to both those babies because, you know, everything's so expensive. And artificial insemination, sperm donor, it's like so expensive. And yeah.
So wait, he said, he made this up. Mr. Pham, you also wanted to have children?
I did.
You all know each other and been friends?
Yes. Yes.
About 12 years since college.
Okay, so you've known each other since college?
Yes.
You also wanted to be a dad, Mr. Pham.
Yes.
Did you make up the idea that, hey, I'll father your children, that way they'll be siblings, half siblings, siblings nonetheless?
Well, initially I was pretty hesitant about helping them get pregnant, but because I've known them for so long, we were really good friends.
So wait, they say you asked them. Did they ask you or you asked them?
They initially came to me, but we agreed upon it together.
Okay, that's your side, I understand. So you were reluctant at first, but then you agreed.
That's correct.
Why did you agree?
Well, I've known these people for 10 years. We were really good friends. We spent a lot of time together. They make a beautiful couple and they're beautiful people. And, you know, they're unable to have this kid on their own. And so I agreed to help them with that.
All right.
Out of the kindness of my own heart.
So he consented and you all started the process?
Yes. Yes. We slept together.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you all did the old-fashioned way?
Yep.
Yes.
Saved on costs?
Yep. Saved on costs.
Okay.
Yes,
Got it. Got it. Just use the parts that we got.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. So both of you, or who got pregnant?
We both are.
We're both pregnant. Yeah.
Oh, right now?
Yes,
Correct,
right now.
yes.
Right now, Your Honor. We are both expecting.
Oh, this is good. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're both pregnant right now
Yeah.
by Mr. Pham?
Yes.
Correct.
And so were the genders revealed?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, what are we having?
I'm having a girl.
Yes. And I'm having a boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got girl and boy. Oh, you all did really well.
I know,
girl
right?
and boy.
That's what I'm saying. We
Got it done. All right. So we got girl and boy. And why is there an issue? I thought we're all happy. This means the plan worked. Why are you suing him for the cost of the party? He agreed to pay for it?
He agreed to pay for it and
is now refusing. Yes, so at the party, it was at a restaurant that we rented out for $5,000. We invited our family, our friends, exes in relationships, because we invited the exes that we're still on good terms with. You know, we're all civil, we're all friends.
Yeah, that's big.
You know, this is an adult relationship.
Yes,
We're very secure
we're
in
all-
our commitment.
Yeah, and one of those exes happens to be my ex-husband from a handful of years ago.
Okay.
Yes.
More the merrier.
And we are on civil, positive terms.
Yeah.
And at some point during the party at the restaurant, I was speaking with Kevin, my ex-husband, outside of the restaurant, and Robert came up and saw us speaking and seemed to think that something was two ways going along romantically, consensually, and he thinks that he is now not the father of the child that I'm carrying.
Oh.
Coming up.
It looked like they were having intercourse with clothes on.
What?
And on top of that, when they didn't think that anyone noticed, I saw both of them go to the side of the restaurant, exchange kisses, fondling with each other, doing God knows what else. And so that's when I approached them.
Did y'all have liquor at this gender reveal?
I was sober, Your Honor.
Kevin
I was sober.
drunk. We were, of course, not drinking.
of course we were sober.
But Robert had been drinking.
Back with a dispute between Ashley and Katrina Marshall and their friend Robert Pham over gender reveal party costs.
So let him tell that part of the story, because I do want to hear from you, Mr. Pham. So you're at the gender reveal party,
That's correct.
the one you agreed to pay for.
Yes, under the terms that they were my kids.
Okay, well, that's understandable. What is it about her interaction with her ex that made you just fly off the handle and decide, I'm not paying?
Well, she's saying they were speaking outside, Your Honor. I believe they were doing a lot more than just speaking outside.
Oh.
As a matter of fact.
What did you see?
Well, there was a couple things. Initially, I saw them dancing very intimately on the dance floor. And when I say intimately, I mean it looked like they were having intercourse with clothes on.
What?
And on top of that, when they didn't think that anyone noticed, I saw both of them go to the side of the restaurant, exchange kisses, fondling with each other, doing God knows what else. And so that's when I approached them.
Did y'all have liquor at this gender reveal?
I was sober, Your Honor.
Kevin
I was sober.
drunk. We were, of course, not
of
drinking.
course we were sober.
But Robert had been drinking, and as had Kevin.
It was open bar.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Your Honor, I went up to them and confronted them about the situation. And that's when she was actually defending her ex-husband, talking about how he was so much better in bed and all of this crazy nonsense. It was just bizarre.
But see, she was pregnant, so she said she didn't have a drink. Because you know, sometimes they say a drunk person's words are a sober person's thoughts. But they weren't drinking. So she started telling you how the ex-husband was better in bed than you.
That's correct.
Were you saying that, Ms. Marshall?
I was not. And
oh, he's making all of this up.
The interaction between Kevin and I on the side of the restaurant, from untrained eyes, looked suggestive. Kevin was drunk. He was happy for us that we are having a family, and he was getting a little affectionate, maybe overly affectionate, and I didn't want to cause a scene. I knew that he was happy for me, so I went along with it.
So he was like hugging you, and I'm so happy for you, but being a little bit too handsy.
Yes, and I knew he means well. It was not any kind of anything like that. And
you weren't offended by it. You just felt like it was somebody that had had a few too many to drink and that was very familiar with you.
Yes,
So
Your
they
Honor.
were kind of overstepping the personal boundaries.
Yes, and I didn't want to make a scene at this party, so it was all fair game.
So when Mr. Pham confronted you like, well, wait, if you like this with your ex, I don't know if this baby is mine or not. What did you say?
Again, I was not making a scene, trying to mitigate the situation. Like, it's all good. There's nothing problem happening here. I don't know what he's talking about you are so much better in bed than I am.
Let me ask you something. Were you drinking? Like, do you think your judgment was impaired a little bit? Maybe you were just being a little paranoid.
I don't
or
drink,
extra.
Your Honor. I
You
was
don't drink at
sober.
all. You sober. You saw what you saw.
I saw what I saw.
What did
And
you
as-
see?
I saw hands going in places where they shouldn't have been going.
Okay, Robert. Okay.
Lips making connections with necks. And it was just a situation that shouldn't have happened. It just was.
So once you confronted her and she said, listen, it's nothing. Like, he's had some drinks. I'm fine. There's nothing. I'm not. That did not ease your doubt?
Not at all, Your Honor. I know Ashley. I've known her for 10 years, and there was a look in her eyes that let me know that there was something much more going on with her and her ex-husband. And you know what? His ex-husband even looked at me. Her ex-husband even looked at me and told me that they wanted him initially to be the father.
Oh.
And that was another red flag.
So he said, So he was like, listen, they wanted me to be the father at first, but I didn't want to do it, so now you're doing it.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And now you have doubt.
And now I have
About
doubt.
just Ashley's baby or Katrina's as well?
At the very least, Ashley's baby. And I don't know if Katrina seems to be completely content and enabling this whole situation. So
Robert,
if she's cool with that,
you know that that's
it makes
a
me
reach.
question whether
That
or
is
not
such a
she's
reach.
also having sex with
You know
other
what? We
men.
are in a committed adult relationship.
Oh, I just had a light bulb. So are you feeling like they may have been having sex with her ex and you because their intent was to make sure they conceived? So maybe he was a part of this too, and whoever gets us pregnant first, we're pregnant.
That's correct, Your Honor. And if I'm
You
going to be
think
paying,
that was the plan?
from what they told me, that wasn't supposed to be the plan. From what they told me, I was supposed to be the father.
Correct.
And if I'm supposed to be the one
Because
paying,
then they wouldn't be siblings because one of you could have gotten, yeah?
Correct, yes.
But your point was maybe they had tried this previously with him and now they're trying it with me and now you have doubt.
That's correct.
Coming up.
So before we get to the ruling on the gender reveal party and the costs associated with it, I think it's important that we get the paternity results. My staff did have you submit to DNA testing, and I have the results.
We're back with a dispute between Ashley and Katrina Marshall and their friend Robert Pham over gender reveal party costs.
And so at the end of the day, once you felt like you didn't know if the babies were yours, you were like, I'm not paying for the shower.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
I mean, it is clear that the reason why you would agree to pay for their gender reveal is to reveal the gender of babies you thought were yours. So I'm going to agree to pay for this $5,000, have a big party, let's have a big celebration because you think you're the dad. Then you see this intimate moment and you start thinking and you're like, hold on, before I drop $5,000, I want to make sure these kids are mine.
That's right.
And it seems reasonable under the circumstances, even though we don't know if you're overreacting or not. But I'll tell you one thing about a paternity doubt. It never minimizes. It only maximizes. I've been doing this a long time. I've rarely seen paternity doubt minimized to where someone just says, okay. It usually just keeps festering and festering until you know for sure. So before we get to the ruling on the gender reveal party and the costs associated with it, I think it's important that we get the paternity results. My staff did have you submit to DNA testing, and I have the results. As it relates to the child, the unborn child of Katrina Marshall, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Pham, you are the father. You are the father.
One of two.
Oh, you don't need to make comments like that.
Coming up.
You know that you're the father. You know that you're the father. You were there. We're
gonna find out.
We slept together.
We're gonna find out.
Okay.
Closed captioning provided by. You're watching We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. We're back with a dispute between Ashley and Katrina Marshall and their friend Robert Pham over gender reveal party costs.
So you're serious about this? You have that much doubt?
Well, it was Ashley.
I got it. Mm-hmm. Well, we have that result as well.
You know what, Robert? You know that you're the father. You know that you're the father. You were there. We're
gonna find out.
We slept together.
We're gonna find out.
Okay.
As it relates to the unborn child of Ashley Marshall, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Pham, you are not the father.
I knew it. And you try to have me pay for it.
He's not the father. Ms. Marshall?
I don't even know what to say. So you've been lying to me this entire time, Ashley?
I have not been lying to you.
Oh, well, obviously you have. You said it was just a kiss.
Oh, it was a kiss? Well, that was more than that.
We'll talk about this later.
So
I can't believe you would humiliate me like this in a courtroom.
We'll talk about this
I absolutely cannot believe this.
So, Ms. Marshall, are you ready to admit something that perhaps you weren't ready to admit before these paternity results? Because I will always say this. Plaintiffs may lie and defendants may lie, but the DNA, it never lies.
Yes. I did have relations with my ex-husband before the contract was drawn up.
Before the contract was drawn up with Mr. Pham?
Correct.
Oh, before.
Your Honor.
What about the agreement between us? Huh?
We'll talk about it later.
Oh, okay. You don't want to do it here.
No.
The children now will both have different fathers. That wasn't your original plan.
No, it was not our original plan, Your Honor.
And yet, you still have two beautiful children coming into this world. You're very blessed. The question now becomes the $5,000 for the gender reveal party. Do you expect Mr. Pham to put on a gender reveal party for a baby that's not his?
No. I don't.
No.
I don't think that's fair.
All right. Well, the judgment is simple then. Mr. Pham, you've got one baby. You agreed to pay for the gender reveal party for the children who would be yours. And so therefore, judgment for the plaintiff for $2,500. I wish you all the very best of luck. You guys got a lot of mess to sort out, because the thing about it, when you bring children into the world, now you have a responsibility to figure out how to co-parent with all of these folks that are involved. Court is adjourned.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All rise.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the co-plaintiffs. The defendant owes $2,500.
I'm sorry. I should have believed you. I'm stunned. I'm humiliated. I can't believe you brought us to court and did
I still
this.
want to be in my baby's life, and I'm just glad that this is over and it's all figured out.
Ken Richardson claims his film shut down after his lead actress caused delays and failed to show up on set. Angelica Jones claims the plaintiff made her feel uncomfortable and is countersuing for $4,000.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
Please be seated.
Good morning, Your
Good
Honor.
morning. Good day, everyone. Good day. This is the case of Richardson versus Jones. Mr. Richardson, you are suing Ms. Jones for damages. You say she owes you $3,000 due to breach of contract over a film you were making.
Yes, Your
What
Honor.
happened?
So we had met initially at an acting class. Got to be friends, and I kind of helped her work on her acting technique. And it came to the point where I had her audition for this first feature film I'd been directing. First-time filmmaker, non-union, and I had put my entire life savings and maxed out my credit cards for this project. And I was really determined to get it done no matter what, because I had a lot riding on it. Filming starts, and she shows up the first day, and she causes some delays because she can't really remember her lines. And then I try to talk to her about her performance a little bit, and she kind of just stomps away back to her trailer, refuses to come out. And then on the third day, she just didn't show up at all. And we had to just call an audible and quit filming for the day and wrap up the project, and it's still unfinished, and it's quite a problem for me.
And you say it's unfinished because she did not perform per the contract.
Correct, she was the lead.
And now, Ms. Jones, you also have a counterclaim.
Yes.
Against Mr. Richardson.
That's correct.
For $4,000.
Yes.
Explain to me the damages you say you incurred.
Well, you know, being here at this moment is costing me time from work. And I invested acting classes for a role that I was promised and not given.
How much did you spend on the acting classes?
Like everything around $1,000.
About $1,000?
And that's not even covering what I've missed from bartending at night.
And the other $3,000 presumably is your pay?
Yes, yes.
All right. $1,000 for the acting classes, and then $3,000 for the acting role that you say you performed?
Yes, to the best of my
Did you know your
ability.
lines on set?
The lines were always changing. So it's like you're asking me to remember lines that don't exist. And honestly, it's kind of hard to remember lines when the person who's supposed to be your boss is right there looking at you, and all you can think of is some inappropriate action that was happening between what was supposed to be, at this point, a business relationship. So yeah,
Okay, all right.
I would call
wait.
it more
Hold on,
disassociation.
Hold on, you just said a mouthful. I want to understand what you just said.
Yeah.
Because as you were starting, I was like, what are you talking about?
I might have
You
went
talking
into
about
that
it's
fast.
hard to remember lines that don't exist. No,
Yeah.
the lines do exist, and lines do change on sets every single day. So that is not abnormal.
No.
Then you got to, I'm distracted and I can't focus because of something inappropriate that's going on the set.
Yes.
Hold the door. What's going on that's inappropriate?
Well, we met in acting class and we hit it off really well. This was before the production. And we were really like passionate over what we did, which is normal. And, you know, after some drinks and things got even more passionate. And this is something that's not easy for me that I want to just put out there, but I think it's needed to be said because, yeah, it looks like I don't know what I'm doing. But when you're scared, your mind freezes up.
We were definitely intimate at one point. But then I felt like after that passion was gone, I went back to business, and it's like he was infatuated.
So you were intimate.
Yes.
You all dated and you were intimate before this production.
Yes.
When this production started, were you still intimate?
No, and I stated, I'm not interested anymore. I felt a little uneasy.
Were you still interested in her, Mr. Richardson?
No, ma'am. And this also, may I point out, has nothing to do with the contract, any of her backstory. The acting classes, she just admitted.
Do you have the contract?
I do have the contract.
I'd like to see that. Sean,
Please
will you
do.
hand me the contract?
I'd love it if you would.
Coming up.
If I could just point out, she did read the entire script before signing the contract and knew these sex scenes would be in there.
Not with you. And you explained through physical action, not verbal action. That's two different things.
I was a director. It's what I have to do.
No, it's not. This is not a pornography.
And later.
I'm suing Mr. Pan here over a tattoo that he gave me with what I believe is faded ink. Very faded. He told me it'd be vibrant.
We're back with the case of Ken Richardson, who blames Angelica Jones for causing his film to be shut down.
So this is a contract for a pay or play, $3,000, non-union gig that you signed. Shooting for how many days?
15 days shoot.
15 days.
Yes.
And how many days did Ms. Jones show up?
The first 2.
And then the other 13 no show.
Correct.
What exactly was he doing to make you feel uncomfortable?
Well, we would be training, and he would put his hands like on my thigh and tell me anybody that can focus when the hand is like inappropriate there and then they're right in front of your face. Yeah, I froze.
Can I provide some context to that, please? Our production couldn't afford an intimacy coordinator, so I stepped into that role and I explained to the entire cast and crew that before I did that, I was going to be walking through the choreography of the scene because that's important to me as an artist. To have the mise en scene and the
This
choreography.
is new to me, intimacy coordinator. You ever heard about that, Sean?
Yes, Your Honor.
Intimacy coordinator. Okay.
Yes.
So that's the person that when you do intimate scenes, sex scenes,
Yes,
things like
it's,
that.
so it retains its professionalism and no one gets uncomfortable. And I explained that beforehand.
Where to put your hand, where to move, so
Exactly.
that the actors know what's showing, what's not showing, that kind of thing.
Exactly. And if I could just point out, she did read the entire script before signing the contract and knew these sex scenes would be in there.
Not with you.
Excuse me?
Not with you. And you explained through physical action, not verbal action. That's two different things.
I was a director. It's what I have to do.
No, it's not. This is not a pornography.
So, Ms. Jones, you really look distraught today. Like you're very hurt.
Well,
and it seems that there's something missing from this because he's making it very cut and dry. Like, I'm trying to direct the film. We've got to do an intimate scene, which is intricate. And I'm showing her now, but it seems like it really bothers you that he had to touch you. Why are you crying?
I don't know how to explain like the difference in the change because you don't know him. I know him, and this is not Ken.
You felt like him touching you was a manipulation. He
the
was using
energy of
his
it.
role as director and intimacy coordinator to touch you in ways that you weren't comfortable, that weren't needed for the role.
There's a difference between this is what's going to happen and then breathing and looking. And I mean, I have proof here.
I'd like to see your proof. Sean, can you hand me that evidence? What does this show?
This is like stating the difference between my professionalism and wanting to focus on the role and him. Like,
This is a text.
Taking it to another level.
This is Mr. Richardson. You were stunning today on set. What's your evening look like? You wrote back, remembering my lines.
Yes.
He writes, can I help you remember? You write, maybe another time. Okay, I guess, with the emojis of like, I'm upset, love, and a hug.
Is that a professionalism to you? Little whiny
That's
face?
not what you want to get from your director.
No, it's not.
Mr. Richardson, I wasn't born yesterday.
Okay.
You don't need to send this text as the director if you are being completely professional. You don't need to send the text like that. We know you were trying to see if that door would open. Now, what I want to know, Ms. Jones, is what made you then just leave the set? What happened after this?
I go to work the second day, the role that I was promised. Half of my lines were gone. That breached my contract because on my contract it stated what role I was to have.
And did you have that role with less lines, or did you not have that role at all?
I had the lead role, and then after all these weird mixed communications and everything, and stuff got weird, gone.
Did she lose her role, Mr. Richardson?
No, that is not true.
She was still the lead actress?
Yep, had the most screen time as far as actresses go. We just had to cut her lines to save some time because she couldn't remember most of them. So.
See, I'm going to tell you the power of evidence, right, when you come to court. Because you are very matter of fact, Mr. Richardson. You're just matter of fact. It's just you've got it together. You were trying to give her a shot. She didn't know her lines. But had you not shown me those text messages, I could not really, as a judge of this court and as a woman, fully understand why you would be uncomfortable with the director who's also acting as an intimacy coordinator, supposedly in front of everyone. But it was the text messages that allowed me to see that, Mr. Richardson, what you were doing was walking a very dangerous tightrope. And that was trying to do a job, but having an ulterior motive to still have the ability to speak to an actress whom you formerly dated in a way that is not professional, but that's also personal. I do think that that is inappropriate. For that reason, it is the determination of this court that you owe Ms. Jones the $4,000, the money for her role, and the acting class she took to study for the role that she had under contractual agreement, and that you basically ran her out of because you do not know how to separate your personal life from your professional life. And you made the set uncomfortable for her, so much so she did not feel like she could do her job. Judgment for the defendant for $4,000. Court is adjourned.
All rise.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff owes $4,000.
I hope you're happy.
I'm not.
Sure. Well, you're getting $4,000, so.
I honestly just hope that your next production goes well and you learn from this.
Okay.
I don't want problems, Ken.
Okay. Sure.
Courtroom?
Yep, I would love to.
Coming up.
Did you follow each and every aftercare instruction?
Yes, Your Honor.
He did not, Your Honor.
Prove it.
If we followed instructions, his tattoos would not look like that and mine would not look like this. Mine look like I just got them.
Travis Sig claims bad ink caused his new tattoo to quickly fade. Logan Pan says the plaintiff has no one to blame but himself after not following the aftercare instructions.
Good day, everyone.
Good day.
This is the case of Sig versus Pan. Mr. Sig, you are suing Mr. Pan for $800 over a tattoo. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm suing Mr. Pan here over a tattoo that he gave me with what I believe is faded ink.
He gave you, or you hired him to do a
I
tattoo
hired
for
him
you?
to do the tattoo for me.
Okay.
And I'd like to submit this to evidence if I can. It's very faded. He told me it'd be vibrant.
Thank you.
And it's so ugly and hideous, I just wear pants now. I don't even wear shorts. It's so gross. This was my first tattoo. I wanted it to be special. It was at the request of my girlfriend. She went to Thailand on a trip not too long ago, and elephants were something that were very meaningful to her. And because she has a lot of tattoos, I kind of looked to her for guidance about what it should be. And as you can see, it looks like a blob. And I don't even wear shorts anymore because of this tattoo that he gave me.
Why did you choose him?
As I was saying, my girlfriend had a lot of tattoos, so she put me in touch with somebody through Instagram that could recommend people, and he suggested Mr. Pan. And I looked at some of his work on Instagram, and it looked pretty good.
Mr. Pan, do you remember getting the call or the text?
I remember getting the text, Your Honor. I remember getting everything because Travis was blowing my phone up. He was texting me several times. Can you please give me a quote? Can you please do this? I'm like, that's fine. Go ahead and call the store. Come inside. I can give you a consultation in person because I can't give you a quote over the phone.
Do you have paperwork where the person signs off on the design
yes, I
that
do.
you said?
I got
May I have
my
that?
consent form right here for you. It does say right there, highlighted.
I'll take the rest
Thank
of
you.
evidence.
Here we go. In that picture for you. I also gave him some aftercare instructions, which he did not follow.
Coming up.
You did not expose it with any dirt?
No.
Heavy sweating?
Yes, he did.
No,
How do you know that?
I know that because he went to the beach, Your Honor.
We're back with a dispute between Travis Sig and tattoo artist Logan Pan over a faded tattoo.
Did you get these instructions?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
So when the tattoo was done, you obviously didn't have a problem with it because you had paid him half the money before and then half the money after. You wouldn't have paid the money if you didn't like the tattoo. So when you
Right.
first left out, you liked it.
Yes.
Is that okay
Yes.
to say?
Yes.
All right, so
And
we
he- but he-
understand that.
Yes, he promised it would stay that vibrant, though, and it wasn't. As you can see, it's faded.
I want to know, did you follow each and every aftercare instruction?
Yes.
Every single thing?
Yes, Your Honor.
He did not, Your Honor.
Prove it.
If we followed instructions, his tattoos would not look like that and mine would not look like this. Mine look like I just got them.
You did not use bar soap.
No. Yes, I did. He said I can use bar soap. He said I could wash it with, as long as it's antibacterial soap, warm soap and water. Antibacterial soap, 3 times a day, morning, midday, and evening.
He said wash tattoo with clean hands, warm and liquid antibacterial hand soap.
Hand
Do
soap.
not use bar soap. You just said you use bar soap. You said he told you you could use bar soap.
I misspoke, Your Honor. I used liquid soap.
Did you pat it dry?
Yes.
Did you apply a thin layer of regular non-scented Lubriderm or Curel?
Yes. I used Aquaphor was his personal
And
recommendation.
you did this morning and night?
Morning, midday, and night.
And you did not expose it with any dirt?
No.
Heavy sweating?
Yes, he did.
No,
How do you know that?
I know that because he went to the beach, Your Honor. He was at the beach, outside in the sun, tanning, probably let the water hit
How
it,
did you
wet
know
it up.
that?
Because I seen pictures, I have pictures, I have evidence.
On where?
Let's see it.
Right here for you.
I'd like to
Here
have
you go,
it.
sir.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns.
This is him in the picture after you did the tattoo,
I let him know, do not be in sunlight or water because it will damage it.
and you standing in the sunlight,
In
the
the
water, at the beach.
Your Honor, he said I can do anything I want after 4 weeks. I need to follow this care procedure up to 4 weeks. That was after 4 weeks. He doesn't have a time.
If it was after 4 weeks, Your Honor, we wouldn't be here.
4/2/22. And what's the date
4/2/22.
on the picture? What's the date on the timestamp?
The date on the picture was 3 weeks later, 4/26, Your Honor, 22.
So that's within the window.
Of our 4 weeks.
I've heard enough. It's obvious that you did not follow the post-care instructions, Mr. Sigg. It's a waste of everybody's time. You're trying to get money back on something. You wasted your own money. Judgment for the defendant. Court is adjourned.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case is dismissed. Ashley Mansfield claims she was wrongly evicted after her landlord ignored her complaints. Daniel Foster claims he followed the law before giving Ms. Mansfield notice to vacate.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
Please be seated.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Thank you so much, Sean. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
This is the case of Mansfield versus Foster. Ms. Mansfield, you are suing Mr. Foster for $4,500 for wrongful eviction.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
Please
Judge.
explain to the court what happened.
Well, I moved into the apartment 4 years ago. I did a lease, and then it turned into month to month.
Okay, so 4 years.
Yes, 4 years. And I was paying $1,500 a month. Now, what had happened, he wrongfully evicted me because he told me that he handed me a paper and he said, this is an eviction for being, this is for being a nuisance and harassing me. And the eviction notice was because I was asking for repairs. And he wouldn't do anything to help with the safety of the unit.
Thank you so much. Mr. Foster, I'd like to hear from you.
Certainly, Your Honor.
Did you evict Ms. Mansfield because she consistently asked for certain situations to be remedied
No,
on the
Your
property?
Honor. No, Your Honor.
Okay, what is your response to her testimony?
I really do care about my tenants, and I've tried to be accommodating to her. She calls me 100 times a day. I have a phone log here I'd like to submit.
I'd like to see that, sir.
Please. Honestly, Your Honor, I can't run a business when someone is calling me 24 hours a day. She calls me about a stoppage of a sink or a tub. We do our very, very best to accommodate our tenants as quickly as possible, but I can't be there in 15 minutes. It's just unreasonable.
This is almost 20 calls in a span of 2 weeks.
Your Honor, he was not answering the calls. The tub was stopped up. The drainage, it would not go out. But he finally did call me once, and he told me that I needed to take a bath in the kitchen sink. And I thought that was very rude.
The kitchen sink?
A kitchen sink, Your Honor.
Did you say that, Mr. Foster?
I might have made a comment out of frustration, Your Honor. I do have a number of things that we have done for the apartment.
I'd like to see that.
That's not
What have you done for the unit?
Okay, first of all, she wanted new lighting. We did that. Okay, she wanted
Because the lighting wasn't working. You had to do it. We had to have light.
What I'd like to hear from you is, did you put any of your concerns in writing?
Yes, I sent him several emails. And I told him, I said, I need these items repaired. I need the bathtub repaired. I had standing water. Eventually, I did have to take a bucket and take the water out. My garbage disposal wasn't working. My ceiling fan wasn't working. He wasn't repairing anything.
Mr. Foster, what else did you do?
It's just remarkable, Your Honor. I have 50 tenants, and I probably spend 75% of my time just with Miss Mansfield.
No,
I have a tenant actually
to me.
that's come here today that is part of our building. Maybe it's an opportunity for him to share.
I'll hear from your witness now. Please stand, sir. State your name for the court.
My name is Mark Penske, Your Honor.
Mr. Penske, what would you like to offer to the court in terms of your experience living in this building?
I have been living in this unit for a little over a year now, and in that time I haven't had any issues with Mr. Foster regarding maintenance or taking care of my space.
And so when you see a former tenant like Ms. Mansfield, who has struggled to get repairs done, this is what she testifies to, and ultimately was asked to leave, what is your opinion about how her experience differs from yours?
Well, Ms. Mansfield definitely made her opinions known to the other tenants. I heard about it several times myself. I would be shocked if nobody came to take care of any of the issues since I've been.
How much do you pay a month?
I pay $29.95 a month.
Okay.
Coming up.
I can tell that you really wanted to move on from this tenant because you never planned to satisfy any of her demands, because you really wanted that unit back, because for a 2-bedroom, you probably could get $39.95 for that.
And later.
I am deathly afraid to even walk out on a dock.
So you did not see it as it happened?
No.
So how can you tell this court that it was the boot?
The dock is solid.
It needs repair, Carl.
We're back with a dispute between Ashley Mansfield and Daniel Foster over a wrongful eviction.
Your Honor, I have a list of competitive complexes and their pricing.
I'd like to see that. So the bottom line is, Ms. Mansfield was paying $1,500 a month. Your new tenants are paying $29.95. How many bedrooms was in your unit?
2.
And how many are in yours, Mr. Penske?
Just 1.
So you getting a 2-bedroom for $1,500 a month, and you paying $29.95 for a 1-bedroom.
But his was renovated, and he got a smart fridge.
Do you feel like he was giving preferential treatment to the new tenants?
Definitely.
Who are moving in with the higher rents and the renovated units? So basically kind of trying to smoke you out. Like
that's exactly.
So
Your
you'd
Honor.
move. What else was going on, Ms. Mansfield?
Another safety issue that I was very concerned about. He said 50 units. He was renovating a lot of units. And one of the units above me, they did so much renovation that my bedroom ceiling was coming down. That was another call.
I think what Ms. Mansfield might mean is not her ceiling was coming down, but sometimes when there's a lot of hard knocking or hammering, right, you might get some dust from the plaster of the ceiling.
Right, but listen, out of concern for that tenant that lives underneath the apartment that is being refurbished or renovated, does your team come down and knock on the door and say, hi, I know we're doing a lot in here, just want to make sure everything's okay?
We try to, Your Honor. I know that is our policy, and we also have things posted in the lobby notifying the tenants that there is some construction going on.
But when she called about that, since you don't answer her calls, you didn't hear about that either. So it went unanswered.
I'd have to check my records, Your Honor, but it's possible. We are making a number of different changes in the building.
Okay, and what else, Ms.
The
Mansfield?
most stressful was the fact that my refrigerator kept going in and out. And I just heard that he got a retro refrigerator. But I called to complain about that. No calls. And Your Honor, I had food that spoiled. I did take ice and I made a make-do ice chest. But that I shouldn't have to do that. And I had food spoiled. I told Daniel, I said, look, can you help me can you come get me a new refrigerator, get me a used refrigerator? Have somebody come fix the refrigerator. Again, he said I was being a nuisance. That was my new name. I thought my name wasn't Mansfield anymore. I thought it was a nuisance.
All right. And so how much notice did you give Mr. Foster when you decided that you were ready to end the tenancy of Ms. Mansfield? How much notice did you give her?
We had notified her for initial one, she tore it up, and then 30 days later we gave her a 30-day notice. So it was like a total of 60 days, but she tore up the first one.
You gave her one at 60 days. You say she tore it up. You tore it up out of frustration, Ms. Mansfield?
He gave me one 30 days. He said it was a nuisance
That 30
violation.
days later, we gave it.
He said it was a nuisance violation. I didn't know it was an eviction. He said this is a nuisance violation.
Okay. The truth is that when you are on a month-to-month tenancy, a landlord really doesn't have to have cause to evict you. At the same time, Mr. Foster, I can tell that you really wanted to move on from this tenant because you never planned to satisfy any of her demands, because you really wanted that unit back, because for a 2-bedroom, you probably could get $39.95 for that. And I see what's happening here. His building, he could tell, had the opportunity to make a lot more money. And let me say this. I do serve as judge of this courtroom, but I am a businesswoman, Mr. Foster, and I have owned real estate, and I do understand that when you're making your living owning real estate, sometimes refurbishing that real estate is in your best interest. But when you do that, you cannot neglect the tenants who are still living in your original units.
Yes, Your Honor.
Even if they're on month-to-month tenancies. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
So a bathtub that's all clogged up and she can't bathe, you jokingly telling her, well, take a bath in the sink. I don't care if it's out of frustration or what. Your immediate concern is what is required, because having livable conditions in your units, that's what's lawful.
Unfortunately,
I don't need to hear anything else. I don't need another excuse, because you already admitted that this was happening. A refrigerator going on and on. She's losing food, putting things on ice. That's unacceptable. And then a ceiling who feels like it's falling in, plaster falling down in her bedroom, which is where she sleeps, potentially on her head. That's unacceptable and unsafe. And as old as you say this unit is, I mean, there's also lead-based paint issues. So I've heard enough. It is the determination of this court that although you were able by law to terminate the tenancy because it was a month-to-month and you gave proper notice, Ms. Mansfield, you deserve to have sound living conditions while you were there. For the final 2 months you were there, you paid $1,500 for each one of those months in rent. Therefore, it has been determined by this court, judgment for the plaintiff for $3,000. Court is adjourned.
All rise.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $3,000.
You know I should have gotten the $4,500.
you'll get your money. You're never satisfied, so I hope when you find your new place.
I found a new place and I bought it.
Coming up.
Apparently I tripped. I broke my ankle in 3 places. I thought I was gonna go in the water. The dock it's not stable.
My assertion is that she was careless and reckless, and that she wore this.
I tripped over it, Carl.
Susan Alvarez claims she broke her ankle while taking a walk on her neighbor's neglected dock. Carl Wallace claims it was the plaintiff's inappropriate boots that caused her to fall.
This is the case of Alvarez versus Wallace. Ms. Alvarez, you're suing Mr. Wallace for about $3,200 for personal injury sustained after you attended a barbecue in his backyard and fell on his dock. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Tell me what happened.
Carl had a barbecue, and he invited family and friends over, and to go out to the dock to see the sunset, you know, have drinks and things like that. And I'm deathly afraid of the water. But as I was walking out there, I tripped and I broke my ankle in 3 places. I thought I was gonna go in the water. The dock it's not stable.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Mr. Wallace, what is your assertion?
My assertion is that she was careless and reckless, and that she wore this out onto the dock.
I can wear anything that I want.
I'm not claiming about style. I'm claiming about safety and what you would do on a dock.
Hold on one second, Mr. Wallace. You holding up a boot. Is this Miss Alvarez's boot or a boot like she had on?
This is the boot that broke the panels on the dock.
You're saying that boot broke the panel on your dock?
Yes.
And I say no. I have proof of this dock that I tripped on.
Let me see this proof. Sean, hand me her evidence. So what is this a picture of? Or
This
what
is
is
the
this?
dock. This is where I fell. I fell over that.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Coming up.
Did you see this as it happened?
No.
So you did not see it as it happened?
No.
So how can you tell this court that it was the boot?
We're back with neighbors Susan Alvarez and Carl Wallace, who are blaming each other for an ankle injury.
Mr. Wallace, were you there?
I was there, but I was not on the dock at the time.
Where were you?
Well, I was back with the rest of the group. I saw her.
Did you see this as it happened?
No.
So you did not see it as it happened?
No.
So how can you tell this court that it was the boot that caused the damage to the dock?
Because that picture is after the fact. I'm telling you, the dock is solid.
Do you have evidence of the bills, the damages you
I
sustained
certainly
from
do,
falling,
Your Honor.
Ms. Alvarez? So
Yes, I do.
after you fell, everybody ran out there. Is this all your evidence? Is this all you
yes,
brought
ma'am,
to court
that's all I
today?
have.
So everybody ran out to the dock to see if you were okay, right?
Yes.
Including you, Mr. Wallace.
Yes. Yes.
Was your boot on or off?
It was still on.
The boot was still on?
Yes.
Okay.
The paramedics came and took it off.
All right, and then that's when you realized you had sustained injuries, and ultimately you were told that your ankle was fractured or broken in 3 places?
Yes, and I do
And
need
these damages total, you had to have a surgery, consultations, physical therapy, crutches, an ankle boot for $3,210. All right, so Mr. Wallace, I would like to hear from you.
Well, again, this is the line in the sand. This is not going to cross the Rubicon. That is after the fact. That is after she fell over it.
Right. And what I see in this court's opinion is that you've got a lot of space in between each board of your dock, even before the damage.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns.
Now, I believe what you're saying is possible. The problem is as the owner of that property, you owe her, as an invitee, someone you invited to come to this barbecue, a duty of care. And if she did not have on the appropriate shoes to walk on your dock, you should have told her you cannot walk on the dock in those shoes.
Well, I didn't exactly examine everyone that came.
And that's where you went wrong. When you invite someone in your home, you have to look at what reasonable thing could occur. And tripping on a dock with boards that wide is something that could reasonably happen. And it is for that reason, it is this court's opinion that you do owe the plaintiff for the cost of her medical injuries, because her injuries were sustained on your property at a time when she was invited there. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,210.
Thank you,
Court is adjourned.
Thank you,
All rise.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $3,210.
Give me my boot.
Yeah, take your goddamn boot.
Well, you know what? You should get that dock fixed.
You may exit the courtroom now.
Ladies first.
Thank you.
Sarah Vela claims she was forced out of the PTA because another mother spread lies about her. Kathy Love says she was misled about getting reimbursed for art supplies and is countersuing for $400.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
You may be seated.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Good day, everyone. Good day, Your Honor. This is the case of Vela versus Love. Ms. Vela, you are suing Ms. Love for PTA membership fees in the amount of $150, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Love, you're countersuing Ms. Vela for $400, which you say the plaintiff owes you for supplies that she led you to believe would be reimbursed.
That's correct.
All right, let's start with you, Ms. Vela. Explain to the court why you believe Ms. Love owes you $150.
Well, Your Honor, I am in charge of the PTA at our daughter's elementary school. I have been for the past 2 years since we moved there. And the defendant came in mid-semester last year, and she wanted to be a part of the community. She had a big sob story about her husband divorcing and stalking her or something like that. I took her under my wing, I introduced her to everyone, and I made it very clear that she was a volunteer with the PTA. She received a pamphlet that we all receive saying that you need 100 hours of volunteer work before you can become a full-fledged member, and she agreed. She was very happy to offer her assistance. She is an artist, and we were very happy to have her. We were doing our annual musical, and she offered to do the backdrop for us. And then things...
She offered to do the backdrop?
Yes, ma'am.
And you said, yes, go ahead.
I said, we would love to. We all offer our own expertise. Some of us are, artists. Some of us help with chaperoning. That was her expertise.
Okay. So go ahead and get to the part where you think she owes you $150.
Well, Your Honor, all of a sudden, I started hearing rumors that she was spreading about me. She was saying that I promised her that I would pay her back, that I would get the school to pay her back for her fees for this backdrop that she did. Your Honor,
all right.
she was...
Ms. Love, I want to come to you right now because I want you to respond to what Ms. Vela has testified to thus far. What is your response?
Thank you. My response is that I don't owe her anything simply because her version of things is false.
What's your version?
My version is that I did come to school. I moved here in the summer. It was not mid-semester. She only became aware of me mid-semester because my daughter got the lead in the school play, which traditionally had gone to her daughter. So she became aware of my presence at that time. I did volunteer to do the backdrop. I thought that was a great idea, but I initially asked her about reimbursement, and she manipulated me into thinking that I would be reimbursed. I will say she never promised me, but I have the text to show you that I sent her.
I'd like to see that, please.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, the only one manipulating anyone is the defendant.
Thank you.
She has been bullying me since the day she arrived. I had a knit close friends of these mothers. We have been together for many years, running things smoothly. Then she snuck her way in like a little serpent and started trying to get in, infiltrate ears. She's trying to rise the ranks. She flat out said that she didn't want me to be the queen bee anymore, and she was gunning for my position.
That is simply
Let me look
not
at these
true.
text messages. So, Ms. Love, you say this is a message between you and Ms. Vela. Hey, girl, I just bought all the supplies for the backdrop. I'm going to save the receipts and give them to you or the school for reimbursement. Oh, no response.
Right, no
Crickets.
response for 8 days.
Hey, I never heard back from you about getting paid back. Is that what you cover? And then there is a response. The PTA will definitely reimburse for members.
For members, Your Honor.
Why then, when she says, is that what you cover? And you can see clearly from the text, it is her intention to spend the money. You respond in the affirmative and say they'll definitely reimburse for members.
She wasn't a member, period. I was trying to reinforce what she got in her pamphlet. You are a volunteer. Once you complete those 100 hours, we all have the same information. No one has ever had an issue like this. We all know we're volunteers until we've put in that time.
Coming up.
Drives me crazy is, in some of these schools, the mamas acting worse to one another than the kids. And it's ridiculous. Lot of drama with the mamas.
And later,
he purchased a snake. He comes back 3 months later, barges into my shop looking like a bearded dragon, and
A bearded dragon.
we're back with the case of Sarah Vela and Kathy Love, who are arguing over PTA membership fees and unpaid expenses.
So, Ms. Love, I do want to understand from you. When you got this, was it your understanding you would be reimbursed? Did you think you were a member? What was your understanding?
I did know that I wasn't a member.
You did know you weren't a member?
Yes.
Okay.
But the positive vibe behind her messages and the positive reinforcement that she gave me, whenever I asked her about reimbursing, she would nod or not directly answer me.
Did you know the rules were that you needed to be a member to be reimbursed? Were you aware of that?
Not until later. Not until...
When is later?
After I brought this text to the other women in the group to ask what was happening. That is her version of me going and talking behind her back. That's not at all what happened.
So you took the text and said, hey, I bought all this art supplies, and she's saying that members will be reimbursed. I'm not a member. What do you think is going to happen?
They said, you probably will not be reimbursed. But they did admit to me that she should have made that clear from the beginning.
So why didn't you just take the art supplies back and not do the backdrop?
It was already done by that point. I had volunteered my hours, my nights, my weekends for 4 weeks.
And
I was happy to volunteer my hours.
And now we've had to leave.
Stop. Your mouth is running a mile a minute, and I cannot keep up. What I'm trying to understand is this. When a new family is welcomed into a school, and the great thing about it is I actually have a son who is middle school age, so I understand this wheelhouse. I'm trying to figure out, Ms. Love, whether you took it upon yourself to just make this backdrop to impress them, so that you could be a member, because a lot of that goes around in these schools. One mom trying to impress the other mom, and then the PTA, all the moms who are at the head of the things are the top dogs, and I understand that. The thing that drives me crazy is, in some of these schools, the mamas acting worse to one another than the kids. And it's ridiculous. You ever heard that old school phrase, Sean, save the drama for your mama? Yes. That's exactly how these schools are. Lot of drama with the mamas. And that's what I see here.
Your Honor, I honestly tried to avoid that drama. What she's
the
claiming
instigator,
is
Your Honor.
back talk and me spreading rumors was just me trying to clarify things. And it was at that point that I realized these mothers already had ill feelings toward her. They went to the principal. I did not. I had nothing to do.
Your Honor, ask her who's in charge of the PTA now.
I had nothing to do with
ask
her
who had to
being
leave
removed
and who now
from
has the job that
PTA.
she wanted.
Listen, you all know how ridiculous this is, right?
It's the principle of the thing, Your
No,
Honor.
no. You have spent time on this. And look, I get what principle is, but $150?
It's for my daughter, Your Honor. She can do whatever she wants to me. My daughter was crying. I had to explain to her because Mom was being bullied. That's why none of the kids are inviting her to anything. That's why she can't have fun at the play.
But you know what would have been a better example, in this court's opinion, to your daughter than to sue another mother for $150? Is to set an example that when you are in an uncomfortable position, that you reach out to a mother, you sit down, you have a conversation, sometimes an uncomfortable conversation about where your differences lie, and you figure out how to come to an amenable solution.
I understand, Your Honor, but I felt I was being bullied.
I don't think you all did that.
I felt I was being bullied, and I wanted to stand up for it.
This feels very immature to me. It feels very immature. I do not think you set good examples for the children. I think this is silly. I think at the end of the day, you were coming into a new school trying to make a good impression. The problem is that you're telling me that you understood that you were not a member.
I did understand
that. And before you went and spent $400 on art supplies, you should have been clear before you spent the money. What your text message says is that after you spent the money and you tell me already built it, then you say this is what you cover.
I understand your point.
You too many days late and $400 short of recovering. And as for you, Ms. Vela, $150. You were the PTA, the head of the PTA. You want your money back?
It's honestly not about the money, Your Honor.
It cost you more to come to court.
Correct. Correct.
And in my opinion, you did not set the example you should set for your daughter. Standing up for yourself takes on many forms. Ridiculous, unnecessary litigation is not the way you show your child how you stand up for yourself. In this case, neither one of you deserve to collect a dime. And that is the determination of this court. Court is adjourned.
All right.
Judge Lake has ruled. Both cases are dismissed.
I'm sorry that this turned out this way.
It didn't have to come to this. It was never about the money. It was never about the money.
This is unfortunate. I'm sorry about your daughter.
You may exit the courtroom.
Coming up.
I have a little scientist, my son, too, so he immediately knew that that snake you had was not the $4,100 snake you thought you paid for.
Exactly.
Once you find that out, what happened?
I take it to his shop, and he doesn't want to give me the difference.
Kevin Markham claims he was sold a mislabeled snake, and he has the genetic test to prove it. Lawrence Bailey says it was an honest mistake, but the plaintiff was happy at the time of purchase.
This is the case of Markham versus Bailey. Mr. Markham, you are suing Mr. Bailey for $3,700. You say it's the cost difference between a snake that you went into his store to buy and the one you ended up getting, as well as the genetic testing fees to discover what you really had bought. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
And Mr. Bailey, you say you sold him the snake that he wanted.
Correct. I have the best reputation in South Florida.
Who told you that?
And
Florida
my
people?
customers tell me that.
Oh, they're from
and that's,
Florida.
And the money in my drawer tells me that too.
All right, gentlemen. Mr. Markham, tell the court why you went into Mr. Bailey's store, what you were looking for.
Oh, yes, Your Honor. So my son's birthday was approaching. I had got a bonus at work because I had been doing really good. I wanted to get him a very, very special snake. Sunset one is the one I found online as being like the top of the top, the Michael Jordan of snakes. So I went down there, found one that said Sunset. He charged me $4,100. I bought it.
Okay, you take it home to your son, and what happens?
He loves the snake. He has it for about approximately 3 months. He invites a classmate over to doing a project. He's kind of bragging to his friend. His friend's like, I think this is a lavender. My son's like, nah, my dad wouldn't do that. I Googled what a lavender was. They're really hard to tell the difference between
All right, I'm looking at the evidence now, and I see the difference, but I also see a similarity. So your son's friend is, I love these classmates. I have a little scientist, my son too, so he immediately knew that that snake you had was not the $4,100 snake you thought you paid for.
Exactly.
Coming up.
He comes back 3 months later, barges into my shop, looking like a bearded dragon.
A bearded dragon.
We're back with a dispute between Kevin Markham and pet shop owner Lawrence Bailey over a fraudulent snake.
And so then once you find that out, what happened?
I get the genetic testing done on it. I take it to his shop, and he doesn't want to give me the difference. But I can't return. He says he'll take the snake back or make an exception, even though he has a no refund policy. I just want the difference between what it should have cost and what I actually paid, as well as the genetic testing.
So, Mr. Bailey, I want to hear from you now. I want you to respond to his testimony.
Okay. Well, back in February, I was helping a customer that owned a bearded snake, and they were buying some crickets, and he rudely interrupts me and asks me where are my baby ball pythons. I said, well, geez, that guy couldn't even wait 1 minute. I said, okay, sir, they're right over there. I pointed to the case, and I said, are you sure? He said, that's exactly what I want. He purchased a snake. He comes back 3 months later, barges into my shop, looking like a bearded dragon, and...
A bearded dragon?
Well, that's kind of like one of my reptiles that I sell. He kind of looks like one of them anyway. So I said, look, I'll give you the money back. Just bring the snake back in.
Your Honor, I didn't bring it back in, but he didn't want to just see the snake. He would only accept me returning the snake completely.
It's reasonable to assume, since you have a pet store, that they're going to get attached to it. So we probably didn't want to return that particular snake because now his son had already developed a relationship. So are you saying, Mr. Bailey, you never even wanted to see the snake at all?
Well, I do
Unless
want to
he
see the
returned
snake.
it?
I want to make sure it's the one I sold him. I can't just give
That
him
seems
money.
like a crucial step that didn't happen here.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns.
Do you ever reach out to your supplier and say, I've got a customer and I sold him a Sunset for $4,100. He's now had genetic testing and says that it is a lavender.
I did not, because I don't have the snake to take back to the supplier. And I don't know. I need to see the snake.
This is what will drive, hold on. This is what will drive a judge crazy. He just needs to see the snake. I am ordering. It has been determined by this court and ordered by this court. Mr. Markham, you take the snake back into the shop. Allow him to take a picture of the snake. Since you were going to refund the $4,100, Mr. Bailey, refund him the difference between the cost of a lavender and the cost of the Sunset that he paid for. So then the $200 that he paid to have the test that he should not have paid, and then if you've been overcharged from your supplier, you have the evidence to go deal with them. Am I clear?
Clear.
Court is adjourned.
All rise.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $3,700.
So Nick, before that little bearded dragon that you are, I have the best reputation, and you're not even a customer.
You may now exit the courtroom.
Oh, thank you. You first.
Bearded dragon.